All right, all right. I just missed the fucking. Oh, no, it's 2 minutes. Well, 7 minutes. I try to give myself a 5 minute grace period. I missed that, so I'm late. So I apologize. I apologize. Let's see if anyone's watching. Let's see if we're even live, because Lord knows that's not always the case. All right, we got one, got two, we got all three. So I'm gonna ask a question I already know the answer to, and that's: Are we live? I said, are we live? Looks like we are. Vigilante wins here on the 178th episode of VW Casual, the longest running show on this channel. Because we've had a few. We had the Culture Crime Fighters, ran a long time. The Vigilante Wins the show, which ran a long time. There was a Brave and the Bold show that didn't run that long. Because I don't like talking to other people. I can talk to one other person, like Matt. I could do, one show. I mean, we had the Primetime Kings. Also, that wasn't on this channel. Did we ever do one on this channel? I don't think so. Shout out to Baron Norman Tag and 24/7. That lasted a decent while. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We got Cotton, we got Richard, Scrambles, Tom Jensen, Fizz. So we already got a full house. Because if we can get to 5, we can stay alive. So I'll take it. Thank you for joining me on this. What was it, Wednesday? I'm a little discombobulated. I had some time off. Now it's Thursday morning now, yeah. It's already February. We're already 2 months into this year. Valentine's Day, or what is it, Lupercabra? I think we checked that the last episode. Or one of these last streams, because I did do a stream pause from bed. Just off the phone with the logo a few days ago as well. But so thank you for joining. What do you want to talk about? You love Valentine's Day? Well, all of us, quite frankly, all of us don't get hoes. Let's just, especially your boy. So I'm pretty neutral Valentine's Day. This day is never affecting me. So why, there's nothing to care about. But hey, if you enjoy your life. Whether Tom Jensen Single Awareness Day, whatever you want it to be. Make it whatever you want it to be. Whatever you want it to be. You already got a gift? That's dope. So enjoy. Enjoy. What is it? I've been I have thoughts, as we all do, right? Yeah. Tell your girlfriends you love them like pie, both irrational and unending. There you go. That'll probably scare somebody away. But, it's a joke, the internet. But I have thoughts about, they're not directed at anyone else but myself, right? But I feel that other people are in the same boat. There's too much fucking negativity. Like, I understand why there's so much pessimism. I have contributed many a time to the pessimism. But I guess because I'm aging out of my ability to worry about everything, plus worry about my own life and the comings and goings within that, and kind of starting to get into a little health kick, have become keenly aware of the hormonal impact on health and weight and other factors, including the hormone cortisol, which is caused by stress. And some of this is even, from, I've been consistent with the gym a good month, maybe 2, but I'll say for sure a good month. Hey, real way, we're over 5. We're doing good. Girl gives you flowers, the one you marry. Hopefully the right girl gives you flowers. For Cyberstan or Cyberstan. Who is Cyberstan? Is that a person, or is that a place or a thing? Is it a noun? What is Cyberstan? Is it an adjective? Can you be Cyberstan? What is it? But yeah, I gotta stop being so negative. And I think, it's easy to be negative. This Epstein stuff. Right? Supposed to take a cortisol test, but it's like a year overdue. I'm too stressed and busy. Has to be the right girl. What girl would think to give a dude flowers? A fat, desperate one. So, and I know how much you love fat bitches. So I'm just tossing that out there. But listen, I ain't trying to ruin your mood. I'm just trying to toss that out there. You never know. But no, I hope it works out. I'm I'm saying that in jest. Again, I gotta stop being so damn negative, right? Even though, so just because a girl fat don't mean, and it just depends how fat and everything else. You know what I mean? There's some cute chubby girls, right? There's some cute chubby girls. Shout out to the tortoise. We love the tortoise. We don't love the super big bitches. The fucking fat acceptance hoes. That's when you're 3 bills. That's too many meals, man. You can't do that. You're about to die. Oh wow! I said something about the tortoise. Stream went to 0. Nobody was. No, ain't no love in the heart of the city for the tortoise. Damn. That's just how it goes in these YouTube streets. Cause yeah, it shows zero watching right at that moment. It is what it is. How we doing on Steam? Or not Steam. Kick and Twitch. Hopefully one day we'll have something on Steam. So we got something on Spotify. Borrow Nostalgia doesn't exist still on Spotify. Next project coming as soon as possible. Do what now? Says Tom Jensen. No, it looks like I said something about tortas and then people left. The viewership spike or fell. Now, maybe it didn't. YouTube does lie. Or maybe there was a hiccup. Sometimes that'll happen. Like if there's like a weird hiccup, it'll do that. Yeah, I realize I'm being too negative. I'm doom scrolling too much. I gotta focus on the things that make me happy, and I gotta just not be so stressed out. Like like the joke. I was supposed to take a cortisol. I don't know if that's a joke. It could also be true. Supposed to take a cortisol test. It's been a year overdue. I was too stressed and busy. I know that's your type of humor, so that's why I'm thinking it's a joke. But it could also be fucking true. It is stressful, man. It's a stressful time, stressful economy, and I'll tell you the moment it really hit me. I just recently started following on Instagram. I think this is Doof. You might like him. Cotton is a puppet. It's a puppet, and it's a hipster puppet, and all he does is complain about how fucked up the world is. It's a joke, and it's true. Taking care of Mom. Rest in peace, Mama J. Yeah, I can imagine that's tough. That's tough stuff. Shout out to you. Good question. What is the name? The name I was going with was Potency. And I'll probably talk about the next project in a little bit after this. I was hoping Cincha would show up. He doesn't always show up. He used to be here all the time. And you know what I'm saying? He doesn't show up as much. So what? It was the truth was said in jest. The endocrinologist wanted to see if he was stressed. I'm like, no shit, you need a test for that. Fair enough. Cortisol is a motherfucker. We needed it because for the adrenaline hit in fight and flight moments, and we need it for certain things. But man, overuse of it is such a big deal. Massive race hit. I'll check it out in a second. With Real Wade. I'll check it out when I'm done with this spiel. But man, it can be a killer. One thing I'm noticing. There's something to that. How the fuck am I supposed to know if I'm not stressed or stressed? I mean, you could feel it to some extent, but to some extent, we all have a baseline level of stress, right? Just because of the lifestyle and the modern society and pollution, and some people think electromagnetic interference, and I think there's a lot of research into it. And there's some truth to it. That means your cell phones and all this other stuff, and computers and technology has an impact. So there's a lot of things outside of our control that impact our stress level anyway. But I'm starting to notice, and I know it just happens at, shout out to trying to get healthier. Starting to, I'm not even looking at the scale, because look at the scale is going to fuck up my mental. But I can tell that I'm starting to get in better shape. I can tell. But as a result, I'm looking, and this is natural, right? A lot of times the stomach is the last place for it to come off. But I'm starting to it's starting to look like an egg with twigs. As my arms and legs get smaller, my stomach is not. And a lot of that is fucking cortisol, right? A lot of it's eating, right? But a lot of that is cortisol. We all have quote unquote dad bod. That's from stress. So, how do you mitigate it? Walking, which I'm got to commit to walking again. Things like walking, meditation. I even think different lifting weights and stuff can be stress relief. Hobbies are stress relief, obviously. Hopefully, pause. I'm relieving your stress right here. It's extra pause. Whoa, hey yo. But no, hopefully entertainment can relieve stress. It's a doo-doo belly. Does meditation work? I need to do more of it. Now, I wasn't into the like super esoteric meditations, but just slowing down my breathing control, giving attention to all of my body parts, or paying attention to your legs and just kind of going up and doing that stuff and just kind of relaxing. I did used to be able to do that, and I thought that was helpful and just calming down sometimes, and especially if you had trouble sleeping. The best thing, toning the muscles under the fat will burn more effectively. It sucks because the core loses at last, but yeah, in general the core is going to lose at last, right? Yeah, I don't know if I told the chat that story, and that's why I would never fuck with yoga. Yoga is a spiritual practice. I may do Pilates because I need to do something to keep my mobility, and I really want to play basketball. I got to find a way of regular basketball, just twice a week. That's all I want to do. Just want to hoop twice a week. That's it. But I don't fuck with yoga, and I'll tell that story in a little bit. And I did not hear about the BC shooter. Yoga is for Hinduism. Yoga to me, and shout out to DDP Yoga, and it's been very, very helpful and very beneficial for a lot of people. I don't want to disrespect it, but yoga is a spiritual practice first. It is not a physical practice, and I'll tell my yoga story in, I guess, a little bit since we brought it up. I'm talking to myself, and if anybody else agrees, then fair, right? And I think, especially post Epstein, that story getting brought back just brought up other negative things, and everyone, the conspiracy theory crowd is happy because they're getting a lot of attention right now. Yeah, I know yogurt, but it's just negativity and negativity. I was watching that guy or this puppet. A puppet on Instagram came up with this episode. Watching this puppet, and he's just like, yeah, jobs or all the jobs that came across basically last year in Biden into the first year of Trump from 04 to 05 were fake or some shit. It's just like, I don't want to hear. Like, I'm just kind of sick of hearing all this negativity. I'm progressing along. I may have a house. We'll see how that goes. We're starting that process, but there's a few steps on that road before I say we're there. It's a short road, but it's a lot of stuff to do in this next 30 days. So we'll see with that. How many left to all are proven true? We're like 98% complete. There's a few that aren't proven. I'm a Christian, so no yoga for me. Yeah, if I'm telling you, not everybody believes in it. A lot of people don't take it for granted. And yoga in the West has become a physical fitness thing. DDP yoga is a fitness thing, and all these other yoga, they're hot yoga, all that stuff is fitness, and that's fine. But there's a spiritual component, and you can open up doors that you don't want to open up. I'm telling you. So if you listen, if it is of your spiritual practice, enjoy. That's your life. But I'm not messing with it. Even though I get why it's a fitness thing. I get the flexibility and the strengthening the core and all that stuff. Those are very positive things. But there's other ways to do that. Yoga, I don't think should be the primary way. But as far as conspiracy theories that aren't true, a lot, or at least haven't been proven. The Antarctica stuff hasn't been proven. The shape of the Earth, that one, which it is weird that you can get in trouble for talking about it, because that made it way worse, right? Because otherwise you would just think of it as some absurd shit. But then when they start penalizing people, because I don't believe that. I believe the Earth is round, right? I believe in the globe. Excuse me. Oh yeah, the Mountain Dew one. I forgot about that one. Where every time there's a new Mountain Dew, a new tragedy happens. That's one. There's a few that haven't been confirmed, but a lot of them have. The way the elites run is all confirmed. And there was a lot of stuff even before Epstein. Kevin Steen. Yeah, the shape of the earth. That's a crazy, that one hasn't been confirmed, and I don't think it will because it can't be. And other cultures knew that the earth was round too. Like, it wasn't just medieval, even pre-medieval, it was proven. But the ice wall that is Antarctica, that's not that hasn't been disproven. Neither, speaking of Antarctica, the Antarctica Yahtzee Germany thing, where the earth is ass shaped. I added ass. Tom Jensen said butt. The circular nature of the earth has been a thing for a while, depending on the culture. But I guess every couple hundred years it comes up. Every couple hundred years it comes up. But yeah, I gotta be less stress oriented. I gotta be more conscious of stress. Like I said, I gotta walk more because walking helps. I am starting to really like training. I only train 3 times a day. I would train more. I fucking physically can't. Man, I went to the gym yesterday, still sore today, and I'm about to go to the gym tomorrow, and I'll be sore. Like, I am usually sore the day after. Walk an hour or two, that's good. We're supposed to walk a ton. Like, we're built. They say there's no, if you're talking about from a health standpoint, I think over 7,000. It's over 9,000. Around 7,000 is recommended. But we're built to walk like 20,000 steps a day. Because, I mean, we're talking about older times. There weren't no cars. You had horses. Everybody didn't have a fucking horse. You know what I'm saying? So, for the longest time, hey, Dempsey, appreciate you being here. Being sore is a good thing. You miss so much. Work out for you, man. Oh, man. I'm sorry. Is there anything you can do? You have any physical? No, physical therapy ain't cheap. And I mean, when I hurt myself, went to a physical therapist. No, I've had another. Okay, I've hurt myself decently to go to a physical therapist twice. First time, it was fucking useless. The most useless shit to ever. The second time, now that I think about it, when I was in Charlotte, I went to a physical. I forgot about that. And that time, they actually did help. They had me doing a few things for a few weeks. I forgot. First time was so fucking useless. It was a waste of time, and it was it was just my insurance money getting milked by some assholes in Michigan. That's all it really was. They didn't do shit. They didn't help me do shit. I did like a couple menial exercises. Like, all right, man, come back next week. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You have issues sleeping? Oh, man. Been years of physical therapy. Doesn't help. Still do the exercise they taught you? Okay. That's better than nothing, man. Took physical therapy from ages 5 to 12. Never helped. Till you went to DR, just said, fucking, I'm going to be Nightwing. I know. I've been doing like my own physical therapy. And if I didn't read physics thing, Columbus thought the earth was pear-shaped. I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say it's not a perfect sphere. So I don't know. But Columbus was a smart Columbus. Well, Columbus may have been a coincidental brother. If you're a fan of the channel, you understand what group coincidences are often put to. Not that we dislike them. Only thing you do tricep push-ups. You know something though, bro? Let me see if I can find this guy. There's a guy. Oh wait, I forgot to do. You know what? I forgot to show Wade's video. And as I look, let's show Wade's video as a quick break. Quick break from the action. Timcast.com. That's wild. Quick break in the action. Some real Wade Nation. Not much of a break, but we'll take it. Love you, Wade. There's a guy. He had hurt his back. He has nerve issues, right? So he can only train his triceps. So he just trains his triceps like a motherfucker. He can only really do overhead. He can only train his triceps overhead. Everything else hurts his neck and back. Oh, man, that's tough business. That's a long time. Good luck, Scrambles. That's tough. That's tough because sometimes it's so hard to find a therapist. I've given up personally. I think Wade said he gave up on dating, which don't give up on dating. Don't give up on love. You can take a break, but don't give up because we're all humans. We deserve love. Earth has mountains and pits. Why isn't perfectly round? Fair enough. I mean, obviously, yeah, right. There's Mount Everest, Mariana Trench. Obviously. There's plains, there's plateaus, all sorts of shit. Earth is shaped. Oh, now we're getting to some technical work. Earth is shaped more like a pumpkin. Less wide on the top, on the bottom than at the equator because our spinning works. Fair enough. I'd rather die than giving up on clapping cheeks. But see, you live in a different world than I think. Listen, appreciate life. Some people, you will be surprised the percentage of men who do not live in the world you do, Richard. You don't. We just don't. And good for you. Don't fucking take it as a knock. You should just live life. Enjoy yourself. You're not a bad dude. So shit, enjoy yourself. But a lot of us live in a totally different universe when it comes to dating. But hey, I mean, shit, there's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather die. I'd rather give up on clapping cheeks, says Richard. Drunken Poet. So let's talk astrophysics. I've been training for this in a while. I wish I knew more about astrophysics. I know a little. Single for almost 7 years after my wife died. Almost giving up on love. Yeah, you are engaged now, and congratulations, Scrambles. And I wish you the best. Congrats. So yeah, don't give up. Don't give up. Let me see if I can find this guy. He only trains arms. And listen, I don't know if he's using any enhancement. But he also said he's been training for 8 years. Okay, this is probably the main video. Yep. We're not gonna EFAP the whole thing. We'll EFAP part of it. Arnold Muscle Hogger. No, it's just his name's Matt Irving. He only trains arms because of his physical limitations. He only trains triceps. Really, he doesn't even train biceps. But what is it? I'm gonna break down how. Before I get into this, before I let him get into it, what it really is there's muscular carryover, right? Not just because to do anything other muscles are involved in bracing thing, but the act of resistance training of any kind, and even a lot of aerobic training, there is an increase in testosterone. Your natural testosterone goes up. Part of the reason the testosterone level, they talk about, 30-year-old's testosterone is less than a 30-year-old's 20 years ago, 40 years ago, etc. That's not all environment. Some of it is. I mean, to turn the freaking frog gay. I'm not going to give nothing to the environment. But a lot of it's just basic health. Going back to the hormone things, what you eat has a huge impact on your hormones and how much body fat can increase the amount of estrogen, which also increases the amount of body fat, so that makes it even worse. So when you're training, even if you're not training muscles directly, you can still have an extra effect just from the increased testosterone. Again, of course, there is some carryover when you do certain motions, even if it's targeting one, you do a bench press. Yes, you're targeting chest, but your triceps and shoulders are still a part of it, right? So I'm gonna let him talk and then go from there.
In this video, I'm gonna break down how I'm seeing upper body gains from just arm training. So to begin, I want to explain how this journey started. First, when I got into working out around 18 years old, from 18 to about 24, 25, I pretty much trained normal-ish. I trained my whole body. I didn't have significant issues or imbalances, although a lot of them were brewing. And towards the end of that period, I started to get a lot of injuries in my shoulders and hips, and things started to kind of break down a little bit to the point where eventually I started to get so imbalanced that the numbness traveled up the left side of my face, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on, got rushed to emerge. After some time, slowly started to understand what was going on and how it was related to an old ankle injury. I broke my ankle, healed incorrectly, and it threw off my gait and the way that my body moves overall. And this is something that's kind of highly contested. Not everybody's really on board. A lot of people think it's made up or doesn't exist or this isn't how the body works. I think if you have a significant injury, in my case, the broken ankle that heals incorrectly, and you don't address it over many years and you keep working out and you keep playing sports, it can eventually lead to some pretty significant muscle imbalances, meaning things are misaligned in that if your foot doesn't move properly, that your knees aren't going to move symmetrically, neither are your hips. That's going to, if your hips are out of alignment, you can see how your spine, some of the back muscles and shoulders, everything is going to end up being a little bit crooked because your body is extremely adaptable. It's extremely good at compensating.
Okay, I just wanted to pause at what he said. That's what his issue is. I think yours, I know yours more severe, but he hurt his ankle and then it messed up his hips and it messed up his neck and it messed up his whole thing. So he started to have nerve issues. You moved out of your place where your wife stayed. You moved to another female place. I see. Eating amount, eating frequency, and eating quality. Eating frequency is huge. That's one thing I'm trying to focus on, is not eat as often per day. Huge factor in your outcomes, much as form, frequency, consistency, work routine is true. Legs got fucked up. Oh man, need to stabilize the muscles. You know what I started doing to kind of help my legs? I started doing like assisted body weight squats. So basically I would just grab the sink in my kitchen or something that's stable and just do body weight squats, and eventually you get to where you can go all the way down. Even if you can only do a quarter, just do a quarter. Just do quick little quarter body weight quarter squats, and then eventually you can get to parallel or below, and then go from there. But make sure you hold on. And now, if you got grip issue, then we're talking about something else, which I can understand. You may. But if you can hold and you can stabilize, and if you can't, then, don't fucking hurt yourself. If you can stabilize yourself, and you can live, and then you'll start to build. Because you talked about, like, now I'm able to like work out with my legs in the gym. I kind of had to build a little muscle because I kept having lower body injuries, like my leg will hurt or my ankle will hurt or my foot will hurt or something. And I took some work and I'm not saying it couldn't happen. Sometimes I still will wake up with some soreness, but it's not nearly as bad as it was a few years ago. Muscle increases your metabolism. That's another reason, and that's something I learned. Muscle increases your metabolism and helps with your blood sugar as well, because muscle essentially is harder for your body to maintain, so it takes a lot of those resources, which is a positive, right? But you're not totally wrong that if all things are equated for just losing muscle, so you must sweat a lot. Sweat is sweat is usually a byproduct, but I don't know. I think you can. It's not like you're not gonna sweat throughout the process. So I'm not gonna say that. And then sweating is a very healthy process as well, because I was talking to my brother. He has like a sauna in his garage, and there's a sauna at my gym because actually one of his friends, ironically enough, go to the same gym that I just joined. And we was talking about sauna and sweating. So sweating, I don't want to downgrade sweat. Sweating is very important for health and weight loss and a bunch of other things. Sweating is huge. Oh, you were a bodybuilder. Oh, wow. So I don't want to totally say you're not right, because you are right to a large extent. Because you're gonna probably sweat. Like, there's no way to get your heart rate up to a decent point to where it is worth. And again, I know walking is helpful for a lot of people, but even then, a lot of times you're walking over. Once you get to a certain point, you're probably still gonna sweat at some point. So, it's usually a solid indicator of something, a bare minimum. But I was a bodybuilder for a long time, so you trained specifically for this. Last, I didn't know you were a bodybuilder. Oh man, that's pretty cool. Because honestly, I'm training with a more body. Like, I'm not trying to do powerlifting. Though I'm trying to find. Let me just go back to this dude. He can talk about his journey. Heart rate up, maintain, cause you to sweat. Yeah, you can't do without one. Yeah, unless you do coke. You don't want to do that. So yeah, like as a you're pretty much correct. Like there's no way to, and I'm not gonna say pretty much. You're probably more of an expert. I don't want to diminish. You usually don't hear that, but it is true because it's very hard to achieve any. Usually people focus more on heart rate to sweat, right? It's get your heart rate to a certain point, and that's how you get cardio. But it's almost impossible, like you said, to get your heart rate up and not sweat. So sweat. That's why you're correct. That's not usually the way it's taught or it's said, at least in the modern era. But that is 100% correct because you're not gonna get your heart rate up to a point of cardio without sweating. Like I say that not being, maybe there's some weird house-like medical condition. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that, but for the average human being who's trying to lose weight, you're probably gonna have to sweat. I mean, I guess you could starve your way there. There's that infamous. What's his name? They had a guy who was like 400 or 500 pounds back in like the 60s, and they fasted him with and they gave him electrolytes and water, and they monitored him, and he went like 300 days or something like that. I can't remember if they did any resistance training, but they basically starved him and kept him alive for a year essentially. And he lost a shit ton of weight. So I mean that would be and that shit, we get to look at that too if we want to EFAP that story. It's a crazy story. We can get maybe they'll fill in some of the details. It's like Andrew Barbarelli, because fasting is intermittent fasting and fasting is definitely a helpful thing. But that's true. Cardio can be done every day. And I can't fucking train more than 3 times a week. Like where I'm at now, it just fucking can't happen. I mean, my CNS was a couple of days ago, I got back to the gym, and I understood what it meant to have. And this is one of the first times in my life my central nervous system was fucking fried. I was just sitting there like I don't want to move. I don't want to think. The shit I felt crazy. I felt like I just felt crazy. I could feel my central nervous system in a way that I never felt before. And I'm like, okay, cause I'm going crazy. I'm not trying to say, I'm fighting demons in the gym. I'm not going to act like I'm that guy. 'Cause I'm not that guy. I'm just a guy. But I'm trying to work out as hard as I can. Cause with all the fucking research I've seen, and there's a million different ways to work out, and there's people who say use high volume, people who use heavy weights, use this, that. If there's one through line through all of it, it's work out as often as you can, as hard as you can. And where I'm at in my life with what I have, upper body, lower body, upper body, in a 3-week split is the best I got. I can't train legs twice a week. Shout out to the people who do. When I train my legs once, especially when I can't be training motherfuckers. That's it. That's all I got to next week. I can't do upper body more. I got the 2 times I could do. That's all I got. Because again, train as hard as you can, as often as you can. I could train less hard and then get other sessions out. Pause. But I can't train my hardest and then train 4 times a week. I can't. It is a little bit because you kind of get high. And Ramadan's coming up. It is coming up. God, this year's moving by. And Safir said he'll be fasting. Shout out to Ramadan. Shout out to Muslims, Islam, and all that stuff. Lost 140 pounds. Yeah, the cardio gets you right. That's why I hate cardio machines. I really want to try to train 7 days a week. So you young, you can do it. Take advantage of that shit, bro. Take advantage. You only gonna be young once. I hate to be the old guy that, yeah. Cause when I was 26, 25, 26, and I was training like 5 days a week, basically full body. I didn't give a fuck, and it didn't mean shit. I was working at Amazon. Was I 26? It was 05. I was 27. Working at Amazon. coming back, training 5 days a week. I was just good. I just could do it. It was nothing. I'm walking, probably 30,000 steps, some shit like that. No problem. No fucking problem. If I didn't want to train because I'm lazy, sometimes 4, no fucking issue. Can't do that shit now. And part of it, yeah, I'd let myself go since, so that's part of it too. So hopefully maybe I'll build myself up and be able to do more. But I can't do that shit now. So take advantage of that shit. When you're young, you can train 4, 5 times a week, 6 times. You can do all that crazy shit. I'm not saying don't get yourself hurt, but take advantage of that shit, man. Take advantage of that shit. Cause I literally I wish I could go 5 times a week. I just can't. Can't do it. Can't do it. And shit, damn near made me take a break because I felt like could have been stronger. But I've been talking about it. We look at this goofy motherfucker. Let's man, I'm worried about that too. Cause you do got heart issues. He said Batman Beyond Bruce make you feel like your heart issues gonna hit you at 50, even if you're peak shape. I hope not. All you can do is your best, man. All you can do is your best.
For issues. And most people have some degree of imbalance or issues. I think it just depends how severe it becomes. And in my case, it became severe enough, things got out of alignment enough, I was stupid enough to not do anything about it as the signs started to show up in my early to mid-20s, that eventually my left shoulder got so far out of position that it kind of pushes on some type of a nerve and leads to a little bit of numbness and tingling up the left side of my head. After several years of stopping working out when this happened and just kind of living, I was still able to move around. I could play basketball a little bit. I started to understand the issues more, but I could not resistance train at all. There was nothing, any type of significant resistance training for my chest, back, legs even, would worsen the imbalance, pull the shoulder further out of position, pull the hips further out of position, and just make the problem significantly worse. And to me, I was like, this is pretty severe to the point where I should probably stop lifting weights since it's giving me such negative feedback, or I'm getting such negative symptoms from it. After several years of that and seeing a lot of different professionals, doctors, physiotherapists, chiros, podiatrists, which is a foot expert, athletic therapists, osteopaths, which are trained a little bit more in how the human body is connected, whereas I would say physios and chiros focus more locally on acute issues, meaning if you tear your ACL, it's great to go see a physio. They're going to give you a rehab program to fix that. Anyways, surgeon looked into surgery. They thought it'd make it worse. Got a CT scan that showed there's a number of fractures and some mild arthritis and all this other stuff that I was unaware of, because when the injury happened at 16, I got x-rays and they said, you're fine. Just an little ankle sprain, go back to playing basketball. And I did, and made it worse, and everything kind of compounded. It's not the end of the world. My point being,
bro, this is serious shit. He said when he hurt himself, he just saw ankles. Years later, they find fractures and shit. Man, some doctors do not be giving a fuck, bro. I still think I tore my ACL when I was in my early 20s, but I'll never know. They did an x-ray, that was it. And I don't even know how to describe what happened, but it was my foot was, I was sitting down on the couch, and somehow my foot got stuck as I was trying to lay down. I heard a loud pop, and I was limping for a while. All they did is gave me pain medication. I don't know what happened. I don't know what popped. It just healed eventually. I still don't know what the fuck happened. But I don't know if it was, maybe I didn't tear him. Maybe it was just a torn meniscus. Maybe it was but something popped loudly. Something didn't feel right for a good 5, 6, really almost a year. That's why I thought it was ACL, because it took forever for me to but I just walked on it, limped on it, and eventually got my mobility back. It sucked, but nothing was done. So don't trust these fucking doctors, man. You'll be fucked up, and they just lie to you. You're good, man. They just lie right to your fucking face.
Though, that eventually I understood the Frankenstein crookedness, the imbalance enough to be able to loosen up the areas that are problematic so that I could do some arm training. Understanding enough to know that the lat and the pec on the left side in particular are keeping that shoulder blade in a more kind of depressed, retracted, downwardly rotated position. As you can see here, it's sitting a bit lower on my back and closer to the spine. Okay, and so that's because the right hip is elevated, and so everything is kind of dumping into the left side. The lumbar erector, some of the lower back muscles, the QL, quadratus lumborum, as well as the lat on that side are all short and kind of pulling down, and that's leading to that shoulder blade sitting in a.
I know we're going through this random dude's physical history, but again, he does. You can see he's with all the issues and he's knowing the imbalances and they're very slight, right? But I'm sure like you said, he had nerve issues. It was messing up his face. He even feel his face had numbness. He doesn't train his back. He does, and I'm slow, but we can get to the point of all he does is just these overhead tricep. Just overhead tricep shit. That's it. That's all he does. He does a shit ton, right?
Lower position than it normally would. Eventually, I kind of got a grip on this and understood that, okay, anything that pulls the shoulder blade down or retracts it or downwardly rotates it, which is your lats, which is your pec minor, is going to make the problem worse. I eventually figured out that I could do overhead tricep extensions. I just started with bodyweight skull crushers. Because it puts that shoulder blade in a upwardly rotated, protracted, and elevated position, which is the opposite of the position that it's sitting in. It's elevating it, it's protracting it, spreading it away from the spine, and it's upwardly rotated.
Okay, next time I may skip ahead just to get to the exercise that he does. But I saw the comments, and like I said, I'm kind of getting into the fitness thing. Just I'm focused a little bit more. Because I've been able to do it consistently, I'm focusing a little bit more on weight training than cardio. That's not the permanent idea, but like when I try to do cardio 3 or 4 times a week, just cardio, I just hate it. I can walk, right? And I know walking is not as quite as effective as you compare it to like high intensity interval training, which is not the same as high intensity training. That's two totally things. Similar concept though. One is cardio, one is weights. But it's way more. It's like sprinting, and it's infinitely more effective than something like walking. But walking is infinitely more doable. And oh man, I just hate. I can deal with the elliptical. I can't deal with bikes. I can't deal with treadmills. I can deal with the elliptical. I can do that an hour. Hopefully, with this whole house thing can go through perfectly. I'm going to try to get an elliptical. So all right, I can make sure I can get my cardio. First thing I do, wake up, get that half an hour in every fucking day, and that would help a ton. But you're not wrong starting back at 10, because that's something. Now I'm still trying to get to 10, but I am. That's why I got down to 3 a week. They're like, all right, upper, lower, upper, 3 times a week. Boom, I can do that. I can get through it, and I'm not going to the Olympia. I'm not going to the Arnold Classic. I just need each muscle group to be stimulated in enough ways for enough basic hypertrophy for me to have functionability, gain enough muscle to help my metabolism, and for mainly functionability. Because despite the perception, man, I feel a lot more flexible. They talk about the stiff bodybuilder. I think in a lot of cases, that's somebody who's almost 100% has done steroids, because otherwise, that's part of the stiffness, is because the muscle has developed and the other parts of the body hasn't. Your tendons haven't developed. That's how you get that stiff, that stereotypical stiff bodybuilder. I mean, if you're natural, that's very hard to do. That's very hard to do. You're probably going to increase your flexibility from lifting weights, to provide it again. You're not like he has an injury. People have injuries, disabilities, and all that sort of stuff, obviously. But if you are functional enough to do it, I would say, while again, I do want to have a flexibility component, a dedicated flexibility component. I feel way more flexible, pause, now than before I started, and I feel like way more range of motion, even my arms and stuff. So despite that perception, I think so many of our physical perceptions, unfortunately, have a lot to do with steroids, right? That's why you got the fucking joke where the girl says, oh, I don't want, we don't want much. We just want a dad bod. And it's fucking Henry Cavill as Superman. Like, the steroids have really affected the physical perception of what. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of guys who can do a lot naturally too. In a lot of ways, it's totally bash what the expectations are for men. Where on one side you have people who just think people who are on steroids is not even that big of a deal. Oh, that's not even. Well, you can be on steroids and look like shit. Don't make no mistake. But some people just have that like a steroid body as normal. And then if you are somebody who works hard and have good genetics, you've been working hard for a long time, you have any muscle at all, you must be on steroids. Like, and so we have this dual issue where people who are natural and put in a lot of work, people think they're on steroids, and people who are obviously on steroids, people think they're natural. So I don't know how to remedy that dual issue that's come from steroids. But yeah, steroids has really fucked up the perception of what a body's capable of in both ways, and just in the negative, in both negative ways. So yeah, Real Way says Law. Drunken Poet, aka Dempsey, says you can do it. I can, and yeah, don't start back. There are older men than me. I like watching Instagram fitness, watching the strong motherfuckers. There are some strong fucking humans. There are some strong humans. Wait, no, stop being negative. Well, stop being negative. You'll find somebody. Stop that shit. Where you at, Tennessee? Come on, man. I'm sure one of them Tennessee girls be happy to have happy to have the Real Wade Nation game and recap in their life. Stop it. Don't be so negative. Don't be so negative. I get it. Maybe you just got through a breakup and like, man, fuck, I'm so sick of this shit. I was a perfect gentleman. Listen, don't let if you are going through something, don't let one dumb, that's her loss. That's her loss. Somebody else will find you. And Davis he needs to hire somebody. I have never seen an athlete with the amount of injuries. If you told me Anthony Davis was faking most of his injuries, I would believe you, because it's like, how are you even able to play basketball if you're always this hurt? Same with Kawhi. I mean, I get that Kawhi did have that his leg got fucked up. But what the fuck? Negatives and cardio. I that's something I got to get back to, slowing down the rep, because it's time under tension is very important. And you're right, bad form could definitely hurt. That's why I do. There's certain things I do with dumbbells and bar, but I do kind of favor machines because it keeps your form. You can only fuck up so much on the machine. That's not to say I don't do. I do also like plate loading machines a little bit better, but and I do. I'll do lateral raises, curls. I do trap bar deadlift sometimes. The big three deads, and I'll do incline barbell. Bench. I don't really like doing flat bench. I don't really like doing deadlifts. I can't mentally. I've seen too many people tear their bicep. I cannot. I'm sure I trained specifically for it. If I had a deadlift coach, somebody who could coach me on doing the classic barbell deadlift properly, I'm sure I could do it. Same with the squat. I would need a coach. And with bench, I can't do it. I can't mentally do it unless I have a spotter. I can't mentally do it. I can do incline because it doesn't feel as... When the incline fails, it'll fail on my chest. But when that fucker is ahead of me, mentally, when I had that bitch in the air, mentally I'm going to drop it on my head. I can't do it. I can't do it, and I'm never going to do it. I'll use dumbbells, use whatever. I'm never going to do it again. I can't do it. Mentally, I'm checked out. Fucking checked out. Or the classic. And that's what everyone asks, how much do you bench? I don't know, and I never will. I never will. I can tell you how much I bench on the incline, but I don't know, and I never will, and I don't give a fuck to. I can't do it. Fucking can't do it. But yeah, bad form can hurt you in a permanent manner. Make sure you 100% that the exercise is the correct form. If you aren't 100%, get advice from someone who knows it can save you from pain. That is true. That is also true. Those slight, if you're going to that bodybuilder store, yeah, I do like the elliptical. I love the elliptical because it doesn't. Yeah, oh yeah, answer okay. Sorry, yeah, the elliptical is because it's just it doesn't hurt the joints as much. But you're not wrong. Those slight asymmetries can lose you a title as bodybuilder. Yeah, if you're a bodybuilder, like, oh, the left bicep is a little less. Like that's a crazy standard. It's weird. I kind of did get into like I didn't get into it I got into it as a fan, which I never thought because you're like this is kind of good. You know what I mean? You just have a bunch of motherfuckers in tights and shit, but then you do start to notice that shit, like the small, like oh man, his fucking back, his upper back doesn't have as much detail and shit. You do start to notice that shit when you start to look at these motherfuckers. They all look crazy jacked and look impossible, like superhumans. But then you do start to notice the difference. Like, oh, he's a little puffy. But in saying that standard kills people, man. Because people start using diuretics and all this shit to get the water out, and it's fucking insane. Yeah, steroids, HGH, diuretics, fat burners, fucking thyroid medicine. It's insulin. And they got new shit, the peptide shit. It's a crazy world, man. It's a crazy world. Yeah, pause. I'm sure I said something pause worthy. Stiffness come from yeah, that's a good point. Stiffness does come from training fucked up. Lack of resistance training, lack of calisthenics. Calisthenics are important too. Like I'm trying to do bodyweight squats. I want to get back to doing push-ups. If you can do 100 bodyweight squats, 100 push-ups a day, you'll figure it out, right? You're doing better than most. See, it's weird. You see, your mom thought she was on steroids. Yeah, if to a lay person, like you gain some muscle, like, oh, you're on steroids. And then other people will look at fucking The Rock and say, oh, he's doing it naturally. Like, no, no, neither is true. People accuse you of steroid use. You come to the gym, they all crash out. There you go. See, Retro gave you some game, Real Wade. You from Tennessee because you the only 10 I see. Romania, you know what? I thought about doing Romanian deadlifts because I was thinking of, okay, the one gym has the pendulum squat, and I love it. You don't need much weight because, like, with the pendulum squat, it's very, like, you get to depth. People always talk about squats, always parallel. You get way below parallel. You get below parallel on those. And I love that. But that's more of still, even though it does, I think, still help your hamstring and glutes, it's still more quad dominant. Most leg exercises are quad dominant. And it's like, man, I need to, though this gym has like the seated leg curl is elevated and it's like you can't make it go low. And that makes a huge difference. I didn't realize that until using this, literally last week, I didn't realize that made it as huge of a difference. I couldn't do the prone leg curl. It's just too sus of a position. I'm not about to lay down, ass up, in front of a gym full of people. Pause, but I'm just not gonna do that. I'm just not gonna fucking do that. And then I do back extensions, like the little whatever it is, because that I start doing when I hurt my back doing cable rolls. And actually, I changed my form with cable rolls because of it. I'm not doing nearly as fucking much weight, and I'm doing the wider grip instead of the short grip, because the wider grip kind of locks me. It almost makes it so it's harder to fuck up, and I don't need as much weight. So you never like deadlifts. Some people love them. I want to like them because it hits a bunch of things all at once, and I can do trap bar, but at the same time, it's just like I just can't mentally do it. Squats, if I have a SSB bar, I feel a lot easier doing squats. It's a lot easier. Holding that bar on my back is half the damn problem. But if I have an SSB bar, I'm okay with that too. So I guess I could do deadlift and squats if I have an alternate bar, just not a traditional barbell. Want some free advice? Visualize doing 10 times the amount you have in the bar. Mind-muscle connection. See yourself in your mind. Concentrate on it. Concentrate on your breathing. I need to get better with my breathing, and I need to get better. I need to slow the pace down a little bit. Had a physical therapist disappointed because he said he couldn't correct my form. correcting people's form was his thing. I see. That's the alpha beta brainwave manipulation. You see high end doing it for a reason. They do it for or using. They do it. It works. No, it doesn't sound stupid. They always talk about the mind muscle connection. Yeah, the Saitama workout is no ho. The Saitama workout is no ho. If you could do 100, like I said, if you could do 100 push-ups. What is the Saitama workout again? It's like a run 2 miles, 100 push-ups, 100 squats. I don't know if I can't remember what it was exactly, but you could do the Saitama workout. You'll get you right. It is more, yeah. I think some stuff. And I'm trying to be more intuitive. Like, okay, if you can go up. If you can lower it, just lower the weight. A lot of times you get those extra reps, get that extra squeeze, and then, that's more important. So it's 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 10K run. Yeah, that'll get you right. Sit-ups, I can't do a sit-up now. I could probably do some. I tried doing I used to be able to do, believe it or not, I used to do the decline sit-ups, and I used to hit a bunch of those. Can't do that shit. 6.2 mile. Yeah, that'll get you right. And Brandon Holland, appreciate you being here. High-end pros do die young. And motherfuckers that you never even hear of be dying all the time, too. Rest in peace, Joe Aesthetics. Did he die like last year, the year before? He was like the steroids will be enough. The steroids are damn near enough to kill you on their own. But these motherfuckers do steroids, HGH, diuretics, which, like, as bad as steroids are, when you have people, especially that do diuretics, which that's to get water out, and then they dehydrate themselves. What they do is they do the same thing as a lot of fighters do. They'll drink a bunch of water, get to a certain point, then stop drinking water for like 2-3 days, and then they're going to fucking do a diuretic pill. They basically risk their life. That's almost, you get to near death. Well, tell all these dead motherfuckers that. Well, you can't because they're dead. But a lot of motherfuckers will do it. Hey, let's appreciate you being here. Well, this is the fitness channel all of a sudden. We're talking about fitness out of all things. Well, it started off, I wanted to be more positive. We got to be more positive in the dark world. And, we talked about my little fitness thing. And then we start talking about bodybuilding. We're talking about this guy who can only train his arms, but the rest of his body is in pretty good shape just from him focusing on training his arms. I don't even know if we've gotten to that point. But thank you for being here. But yeah, if you can do just half of that One Punch Man workout, if you could do 50, and a 5, you'll still be ahead of the fucking earth. But you get the extra 0.1% performance. Vigilante gains, hopefully I can gain something. But yeah, it's just extra 0.1%. It's crazy. It's like a swimmer shaving their legs for extra 0.1 faster time. I'm gonna try basically do all that anyway. Yeah, please don't mess with none of them drugs, man. These motherfuckers are cooking themselves with drugs. I'm assuming you're talking about the Saitama workout. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 10K run. That's cold. That'll get you right, especially and the advantage is you can do that daily. That's there's so much focus on resistance training. I mean, listen, you can do there are resistance workouts that you can do daily. If I was just dealing with kettlebells, because you usually don't go as heavy with kettlebells, I could do a kettlebell workout every day. No, I caught it too. I was kind of just more finishing my point. I gotta wait for the damn thing. I caught it and I went back to the Saitama thing. Jeez, relax. I caught it, and I was like I said, I was just kind of finishing my point on that drug shit, because like Brandon Holland talked about, and it happens a lot. Motherfuckers literally do kill themselves. It's a lot of motherfuckers your age and younger killing themselves. I know you're not going to do drugs because we've talked about that shit. Talk about his profiling. You profiling me. I done already caught it. You profiling an old man trying to I don't know. But no, it's motherfuckers way younger than you on that shit, especially in the social media age. I'm just saying that for everybody. Shit, you should know more than me. You the one who in the Dominican League or was in these basketball leagues, so you know all these motherfuckers on all this shit. But there's more. What's crazy is there's more shit from when I never did steroids. I never did anything when I was in decent shape. And it's weird how you even get into, shout out to the old school algorithm. That's how I even got into any bodybuilding knowledge or any of this shit. Because I started to look up, at one point in my life before, a generation ago basically, I'm looking up, okay, how do you do an exercise? Which is something I still may look up, right? Because I don't know how to do it. Or to do something right. And then that leads you to all these different bodybuilders. That leads you to, steroids. What the fuck are steroids? And then you realize there's all these different combinations and all these different drugs. So at one point, I considered it. The main thing that got me to stop was I came across another, and they shouldn't have got rid of them. YouTube got rid of a lot of these channels. There were channels of regular dudes on steroids. And I got to say, they didn't look good. They looked, in fact, there was this one guy in particular, I wish his channel was still around. He looked like he didn't even work out. And it's like, oh no, I'm not going to pay all this money, take all this risk, and look like this motherfucker. He looked like skinny fat, sloppy. So I'm like, I don't know if he had just garbage steroids. I don't know if he was just so lazy that he just didn't work enough to get a decent physique, but I wasn't going to find out. So I'm like, all right, this shit ain't worth it. Fuck it. And that's all, it's stuck out of my mind. I know they say, if you do steroids over a short period of time, you'll gain some muscle. Clearly not enough. That he clearly was somebody who thought, I'm on steroids, I'm going to get swole. It's like, no, that didn't happen. It probably was a work ethic issue. There's also blood doping for all the people. There's all sorts of shit with the Olympics. That's a whole different class of performance enhancers, like the blood doping shit, the EPO, and all this other shit they do. Give you more stamina. There's so much shit. It's a huge thing. But they've come up with newer shit. I mean, which they always do in the past 10 years. They got the new wave is these peptides. And hey, that's part of how we got Ozempic. I think that started out, or maybe even still, I think it is a peptide. The GLP-1 shit. Semaglutide or some shit. I think it came out of the peptide wave. And I say new. A lot of times the shit, like, okay, scientifically the shit may exist into the 90s, but once it gets widespread, once the streets can get it, basically. Steroids came out in the late 50s, but people didn't start using them to the 60s, because that's when people can actually, all right, you can actually get them. But yeah, I think that whole wave is based on a peptide. So I've been going through this. I just want to show you how limited this guy's workout is for what he can actually do. So
and just like, hey, I can do some bodyweight sculls and pump up my arms a little bit. I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty happy that I can do this. And then, after about a year of that, found that I could do something similar with like skull crushers on an incline bench, because the position is similar. And again, things are getting into a stretch position. And then eventually, after like maybe 6 months to a year of that, using some weight and seeing the arms grow a bit more, I found that sitting upright and doing with a dumbbell behind my head puts more of a stretch on that lat, pec muscles, rhomboid, all the things that are pulling that shoulder blade down. It forces it to rotate all the way up, and then I'm protracting my scapula, just rounding the scapula around by pointing my elbows in and then letting them drift back and stretch. And overall, that puts all of the muscle imbalance issues, specifically in the left shoulder, which is the main problem, or the most symptomatic problem. It releases a lot of those short, tight muscles, or it puts them in a more stretched position so that they don't continue, or I'm not exacerbating the problem. Did that for like another year or so. And at this point, like, my arms are they're maybe 16, maybe 17 inches. They're starting to grow some, but I'm nowhere on my radar is growing my chest, my shoulders, my upper back. I'm happy that I'm just doing some arm workouts. I haven't really even started training legs consistently again. I hadn't really found lunges yet. As I continue to kind of ramp things up and just do all my workouts and keep showing up, I did start to notice some growth in the back, in the lats, because again, with the protracting my scapula, just rounding the scapula around by pointing my elbows in and then letting them drift back and
I am muted. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm sorry about that. Y'all are telling me I'm muted. I gotta wait 5 minutes for you guys to catch up. Hozempic. Look at Kelly Osbourne agree. Oh man. Oh, peace out. Peace out, Dempsey. Damn man, gotta roll out. It was a ton of fun. Good to see you. Stay safe and free, you pansies. Okay. And so hopefully you guys are caught up to where I'm talking again. Ozempic does not look. I have not seen any positive results from looking at anyone on Ozempic. I have seen weight loss, but I have not seen positive results. Much love. Yeah, man. Peace out. Wish you luck and fortune as well. Peace out. I like everybody I've seen, and they're obvious on Ozempic. It looks fucking horrible. It looks horrible. Like you could tell that like that person's not healthier. They've gotten rid of the fat, but they've gotten rid of other things too. Like I think it lowers your bone density and messes up your organs, messes up your digestion. I'm not fucking with it, man. I'm not fucking with it. They say there's no weight loss pill. They finally came up with one. I would not use, and then they're mass selling it because they got the what's that, him and hers? So you can buy GLP-1 online. You could probably do TRT online. TRT, even though I just said what I said, I don't think I am. Especially, I like my hair. I actually just got my hair braided. I ain't got much hairline, but I do got braids. So I was like, I still have hair. I'm going to ride that, I'm not going to. Maybe when I get bald, and depending on where my hair, if I need TRT, if I don't need it, I don't want to use it just because. Right? But, if I'm in my 60s, balding, and, if they say, oh, if you had some TRT, that would be helpful if a doctor said that, and this is why you're in your 60s now. Yeah, I can see it then. I don't want to get it before like 60 or 70. I don't want to be you could bro gain it. I was trying to Rogaine my beard, but it just didn't work. So I stopped. I was doing the what's the original name? I have it right here. If I can look. Minoxidil. I literally looked back. That's the Rogaine and minoxidil, the same thing. I tried to minoxidil my beard to have a beard. It didn't really work. It was weird. It worked for my brother. It worked perfectly for him. But it just did. I got a little bit of but it's like I was trying to get a super beard, and it's just not meant to be. Not meant to be. But going back to this. The whole reason we even started on this thing. Well, we started on this because I'm trying to do our fitness thing, trying to be positive. But it was to show how limited a workout can be for it to still be effective. Now, he didn't give us sets and reps ranges, and I'm kind of sick of hearing him talk. So, no disrespect, But all he did, again, with these overhead tricep press downs, for the most part,
releases a lot of those short, tight muscles, or it puts them in a more stretched position so that they don't continue, or I'm not exacerbating the problem. Did that for like another year or so, and at this point, my arms are starting to, they're maybe 16, maybe 17 inches. They're starting to grow some, but I'm nowhere.
He literally, that's sometimes the joke amongst body, like people just work their arms and shit. He literally just worked his arms and still felt a full body and especially upper body benefit. And that there's this, this is kind of what he went viral with.
The back and the lats.
And again, that motion, he was working his lats, maybe not directly, but that's a pullover, essentially.
Letting them drift back and stretch.
If you can go back to
forces it to rotate all the way up.
It's a tricep thing. It's not quite a pullover because for it to be a pullover, he would have to get it kind of past that plane. And obviously, if you do that, it'll fall. You usually, I can show y'all the pullover, showing a different video, but it's a different thing. But it's a similar motion. So his lats and his back was getting some stimulation, from this. So even doing this was still affecting it. His back, and he kind of, that's what he's saying here. Like it's not just this, and even your chest and back are getting something from this. So the whole point of that was to say, don't feel like, if you are on a fitness journey, don't feel like you have to do everything all at once. Don't feel like you have to be perfect and, I gotta do this. If you can find something you can do consistently and do it on a consistent basis, you'll be ahead of the game. You don't have to have everything down pat. Just whatever you do, just do it consistently. That's the biggest part of consistency. To do it consistently will give you the biggest results. That was the whole point. No matter how minor it is, this guy, now he's able to do a little bit more, but was able to get himself in pretty good shape. Most people will be happy to be in the shape he's in. And I'm sure maybe some of it's genetic. We're not talking about his diet. I'm sure he probably eats a solid to good diet. But he had injuries. He had body injuries. He did overhead fucking tricep presses and got himself in a good shape, got himself in a good physical point. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be perfect. Just be consistent. Appreciate the topic. Anything that's not the demons chaining kids in basements or the economy collapsing is good. And that's kind of how we started. I had said I got to, because I'm on a fitness journey, I'm starting to see my body shape up a little bit. And even though it's natural that the last place weight comes off is your stomach, it's very noticeable that I'm starting to lose weight in other places, but not my stomach. And while, again, it's natural, some of that's cortisol and some of that stress is I do doom scroll. All this crazy shit in the news does depress me. I talked about this fucking goofy ass puppet. I don't want to, follow him, so I'm not going to shit on him totally. But he was talking about, oh man, it's just every post is how bad the economy is. Everything you see is, oh man, the economy's crashing. I'm seeing all these different, and it's good to stay informed. But there's a few different channels I follow on YouTube that talk about the economy in general. That's how I even got into silver back in the day. And we'll see how that goes long term. And it's funny, if I sold some silver, I could help myself out, but I ain't selling shit. But yeah, it's just everything's negative. The economy sucks. Everyone's a demon. And then you got the stresses that you may have going on in your own life. And Tom Jensen, that's correct. Success does not come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. That is true, and that's a bar, as the kids. I don't know if the kids still say it, but I'm saying it. But yeah, it's fucking demoralizing it. It's demoralizing it. But that's the counterpoint. And this is in everybody's power. Let me read both your comments. Listener says it's demoralizing. Yeah, I want to avoid it now. I know what's going on, but I can't do anything. And I agree with that listener. I meant to make a video, and I still might make a video about how, to a certain extent, we can't do anything. And then Fizz, this is in everyone's power. This is in everyone's power, and this is what we got to do. Again, I can mostly ignore more than half of the messed up news, watching actual entertainment, playing video games. We have the ability to ignore all of this. There's many a thing you could do. We're just talking about fitness. Use hobbies. There's games. There's movies. You haven't seen every movie that you'll love. You haven't seen every TV show that you'll love. And I'm talking to myself as much as anybody. Hug your pets. Shout out to Zeus is probably out there. He's not. Sometimes he'll come in when I call him. Hopefully I didn't leave him outside. That would suck. I mean, sometimes he'll be out there for a little bit. I'll leave him out there for a half hour. It's not hot. but I haven't watched actual entertainment in a month. But writing, okay, that's cool. Stay productive. If you can produce something. If you have a creative bone, or a creative itch, scratch it. Definitely do creative things. Yeah, shout out to Dodger Lanny. Shout out to the Pugs. I'm thinking of, if everything goes well with the house thing, we'll see. If I didn't say it, I am. And I don't know. I'm just giving you my business. I am technically under contract. I am worried about this inspection, though. I am frightened of this inspection because if it tells me something I don't like, then it's back. It's back to one like Brian McKnight. So I don't want to do that, but we'll see. If something's fucked up, I gotta know. So I'm a little nervous about that. But if everything works out, I may get a cat. Almost just for my dog. Get a cat for my dog so he has a pet. I felt like because when we first had him, we had a lot of pets in the house. We had 2 other dogs, and he really liked those other dogs. He's a friendly dog, and sometimes I can't give him all the attention that he needs. But it's a pet fee. I'm renting places. I'm like, if I own one, I can get a cat. One thing I am worried about cats is I've heard something. I don't know, but I would just give him another creature. You got that? Shout out to that. Shout out to Brian McKnight. Yeah, making a big YouTube buddy, which is not that much. You're making bigger money than me, Mr. Real Wade. I don't know if some dogs like some cats. I don't know if my dog likes cats. I hope he doesn't eat. Bring a cat home and he just kills it. That would suck. But my dog's real friendly and really he just. I feel like I've always felt that he needed something else to exist in the house. It's just me, and I think he needs more than that. Even though he's still he's starting to get up there, but still I'm like, all right. But the one thing I'm worried about is cats. Is I've heard something with their litter, or this is a parasite or something that I guess they give out either in their waste or something like that can fuck with people and drive people crazy apparently. So I would almost be inclined to get a litter box outside and a doggy door for both him and the cat, and just let him go outside. See, Fizz, you know everything. Holy shit. Toxoplasmosis, that's what it's called. So it is a thing. Maybe that's what your angle should be, just explaining different concepts. Fizz, you know fucking everything. Holy shit. I'd vaguely give a vague description of what the fuck I'm talking about. And you just, this is toxoplasmosis, obviously. For fuck's sake, that's incredible. I'm half monetized. I don't get ad money. It's just that you can, if you, and even though now I'm over 1,000, I don't have enough watch hours. I don't have nearly enough watch hours to make it. Because I don't stream as much, and I haven't been streaming as much for a year. How many watch hours? Let me see. Or maybe I have got fully monetized and didn't even realize it. Y'all don't see commercials on my content, do y'all? Y'all don't see commercials. Here you go. How many watch hours do I need to get? Now I can do memberships. I don't even have 2,000 watch hours now. I got 1,600. Jesus Christ. I used to have 4,000 watch hours. I don't got shit nowadays, girl. So now I'm still far enough for me. It used to be watch hours I used to always have, but not the subs. Now I got the subs, no watch hours. So yeah. But I'm half monetized. So you can send me super chats, you can be a member, but I'm not fully monetized where I get ads on videos. And, I still don't think YouTube likes me. Smarter than most people. Well, academia lied to us by saying that intelligence or even academic knowledge or even academic success was a correlation to economic success. That's a misnomer, and that's one of academia's greatest lies. Knowledge is not always monetizable, and what's immediately monetizable is not always the most fulfilling and everything. But PhD piled higher and deeper. Yeah, never went to public school, which is undoubtedly an advantage. Doing ads for supplements. I mean, if it was a supplement that I believed in, I like berberine. If there was somebody who wanted to pay me to promote berberine, I would do it. It's a pair. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, a lot of times stupidity is easier to monetize, and they don't tell us this. And I'm not just talking about relative to YouTube, which Lord knows is talking about social media. Stupidity is absolutely more monetizable. But even in life, what they say is not what you know, is who you know. If you can be the goofy friend of somebody important, that can get you further than anything. Life wisdom is something just learned, yeah. So, but yeah, you just always know these different facts. I'm like, man, that was a deep cut. Toxoplasmosis. Let me even look that up so I can give you guys the whole rest of the class that definition. But I just know it's something that's been linked to, I believe it's I can't remember if it's the litter or the waste or the combination of. Oh, sheesh. That didn't work out. Jeez. Okay. So it's something that impacts cats. Okay. Or maybe I'm thinking maybe this is a different thing. It's transmitted to humans. It's undercooked meat or from cat food. No, it's the same thing. Soil boxes, So it's transmitted to humans either undercooked meat, ingesting or inhaling oocyst from cat feces via soil or litter box. So that means even cleaning them out, you can cause that. So this has been something that's kind of scared me off of cats. Is when I heard this thing. There's a ton of different side effects from it. Here we go. High likely. Man, I don't know. To indoor cats lower risk. Okay, let's read this AI. Let's give this AI overview. Let's see how good it is. So they say it's unlikely to get toxoplasmosis for a cat, as most infections come from undercooked meat or unwashed produce. But it increases with poor litter box hygiene or if cats eat or hunt raw meat. Cats only shed infectious parasite about 10 days after their infection, and these cysts need 1 to 5 days to become infections. Proper hygiene, like wearing gloves and clean linen, washing hands, keeping cats indoors, fed and cooked, drastically reduces the risk, especially for pregnant and immunocompromised individuals. Scoop litter daily, wear gloves, wash hands, have someone else clean if pregnant. Okay. So I don't know. They say as long as you clean the litter box timely, you should be okay. I remember the side effects. In women, I can't remember what they exactly were, but it almost explained the crazy cat lady trope. And I remember seeing that and like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. Does this have I'm just skimming through it. Symptoms, fever, muscle aches, let me see toxoplasmosis in women because it maybe in humans. Let me get men. See if they got men and women. It affects on toxoplasma on human behavior. Although the latent infection Toxoplasma gondii is the most prevalent of human infections, it's generally assumed that, except for congenital transmission, it's asymptomatic. This demonstration that latent toxoplasma infections can alter behavior in rodents has led to a reconsideration of this assumption. When affected human adults were compared to unaffected adults on personality questionnaires on a panel of behavior tests, several differences were found. Other studies that demonstrated reduced psychomotor performance in affected individuals, possible mechanisms by which toxoplasmic gondii may affect human behavior, and its effect on dopamine and testosterone. So yeah, it can affect people. Let's just get into the personality. It says 92 studies have been carried out in the Czech Republic comparing personality characteristics to people who have animistic antibodies, and thus that, so people who have toxoplasma antibodies and people who without. So assuming that people who have the antibodies have a latent infection. So they have different the personality tests show some weird shit. I'm trying to see. Unaffected. So difference in behavior was examined using suspiciousness, person's willingness to taste a strange liquid, one's wallet, let one's wallet be controlled by the experimenter, put one on a signature on an empty sheet of paper. Similarly, experiments designed to measure self-control, whether the person came early or late, how accurate the person has guessed to his own wallet, the time used. Oh, see, I'm skimming through this. I'm trying to find. I thought it did something, and Fizz probably already told us the answer while I'm skimming through all this bullshit, because this is perfect for streaming. Does it make you want to keep cats all around you? The medication's expensive. So that's it. It makes rats not raise their guard cats around. Speaking of cats, thought it did something in your behavior. Like it made you. I believe it makes you like less like. I feel like it impacted your behavior in a weird way, and it impacted weird. I thought it also caused like some sort of. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it caused like some sort of psychosis. But you said it makes you happy. You want to keep cats around you all the time. I would have to look up. I have to do more research. I thought it caused some sort of like psychological thing. But I mean, if it's not a big deal, then maybe it's much ado about nothing. And like you said, I mean, washing your hands, cleaning. You know, a lot of it's common stuff. But I thought it was like a psychosis thing, because I thought, you know, the crazy cat lady stereotype, and maybe part of it is just wanting to have cats around you, and then all of a sudden you get 2, then you get 6, but now when you have 6, 8 different cats, now cleaning is a lot more of a thing. So now you're way more likely, and then, but I thought there was a psychosis of it, and maybe there is, and I just didn't come across it, or I scrambled past it. But I guess I could do more research on the subject before maybe that's needed, because I'm going off. Y'all know how I am. I'll have hear something once and not check into it for like 10 years. So I don't know. I'm not trying to scare people off getting cats. Like I said, I still think my dog could use a cat, because he's just he's a sweet dog. But sometimes I feel bad. Like, man, I can't. I'm busy. I'm working. I'm doing something. One cat is absolutely plenty. Like, I don't want to have like 50 cats, and I don't want to have like a ton of pets. You know what I mean? Animal smell. House smells like dog type shit. Like, I don't want that. It may smell like weed, but not dog. Come on. So the cat is. I think I already read that. He's not going to eat raw meat. Only likes one type of kibble. He's picky. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I do got to find, going back to trying to be positive, which I don't know if this stream is done. Guess we talk fitness and stuff. I got to find something. I can't just be, doom and gloom every day. Not just on this channel, but in real life. It's just like, Very easy to go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, vet's not that worried. It's very easy to go down the rabbit hole of all the crazy stuff. And I had already did it. Pause. A decade ago. All this crazy stuff. It's just now it's being confirmed. But all the Isaac Cappy stuff, which I think I played some of his content before he passed, where he was talking about the pedophiles in Hollywood and just the Hollywood concept, the casting couch, how crazy it's not just, sometimes it does involve children and all sorts of stuff. A lot of people's different testimony, people who were victims of some of this stuff, their testimony. No, I'm not going to get a pet raccoon. I'm good on that. I think I may have told you I knew somebody had a pet raccoon. If you get a cat, make sure you get them a catnip plant. Enabling a cat with catnip is hilarious. I guess maybe we'll both be like weed heads. That'd be kind of funny. But all this shit I already went through once. Now it's getting confirmed. And then the economy, and which as you're trying to buy a house, is the scariest thing. Like, man, am I going to get this house and then lose my job in a couple months? But I told myself, I prayed on it personally. So I said, hey, all I can do is pray, do my best I can when I'm at work, and hope for the best. And if something bad happens, I'll just have to get through it. It's not like people haven't gotten through worse. So I can't stop living and stop doing things because I'm worried that something bad may happen. There's nothing wrong. I guess there's nothing wrong with a pet raccoon, but I had somebody I knew, and they had a pet raccoon, and they got it so fat that it couldn't move. And seeing that raccoon that was too fat to put his legs down and see him rotate, and he had his own room, it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And it was so hilarious to me. But I guess it tarnished my view of having a pet raccoon. So I don't have any issues with it. But the only person I knew with a pet raccoon had a morbidly obese pet raccoon that couldn't fucking move. And it was fucking hilarious, but it's like that's my idea of having a pet raccoon. That they had to give it his own room, and it couldn't even move off of his bed. It's just fucking crazy. So yeah. It was a hilarious sight to see in real life. But yeah, that's colored my view of a pet raccoon. I don't know about crazy pets. I would probably keep a pet. I do like animals; they're cool. I don't know if I want to get outside the standard Western pet. I don't know if I want to get. We did have an iguana when I was younger, but I don't know if I would get a reptile. I would just, I think I'll stick with dogs and cats. I thought about maybe a bird. Dear cool. You know what I mean? But that just seems like it's more, it's cool that they could talk and stuff like that, but I don't know. There's something weird about keeping something that has to be in his cage all the time. It's like, I don't know. Same with fish. I don't know. So it's like, I'll probably stay, if I ever get rich and have like a super mansion, maybe I'll get like a pet cheetah. But then again, a pet cheetah, that motherfucker can run away. You know what I'm saying? Unless I have like gates or something. That is interesting that raccoons are domesticating themselves. That's how we got dogs. Wolves domesticated themselves. And then we started to breed them to domesticate them even further. So it's interesting. Very interesting. Unless the bird's wings are clipped. But I wouldn't want to clip the bird. I'm cool on that. I wouldn't want to impact the, that seems wrong to me. Like when you all, and I mean, I got my dog fixed, so maybe that was wrong. Which I kind of feel bad to some extent. I probably shouldn't have. Dogs did not domesticate themselves. I thought they did. I thought, that's, and I'm not an expert. Like I said, more than everybody, so I defer to you. But I was under the understanding that packs of dogs sort of basically domesticated themselves with humans, and then we further domesticated them. but dogs had to be tamed and bred over time. I see. Okay. I'll take your word for it. But cats did. Okay. I thought dogs kind of started that process, and then we took it over. Hey, Super Bowl Z. See, I hate the names. I think you're Decepticon King. I hate that YouTube has done this. Now I gotta go to your channel. I'm gonna go to your channel. You are Decepticon. Jeez. Because it says everybody's screen name, so I gotta guess. And a lot of times I'm able to guess because it's usual. I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to Decepticon King, or Decepticon's Cave of Collectibles, which is the current channel. But I remember Decepticon King, just like Cotton. We call him Cotton or Wook. Wolves more specific. Dogs are descendant of tame wolves. Fair enough. Ever get that bear bread? You know what? I fucking forgot to. I remember I asked you and you had told me to get the bread from Heb. I never ended up getting it. I haven't really been eating that much bread though. But yeah, I ended up not getting it. Like I said, I haven't been eating much bread. I'm trying to eat, if anything, less because carbs and stuff. Even though, I mean, not that eating carbs is underrated because obviously carbs, you need carbs and shit like that. There's cheese you get from the store. There's also 3 or 4 ingredients ahead. Okay. The lower the ingredients, the better. Shit. Going back to the negative shit. And obviously, I need to not eat this. And this is, I guess it's not a negative because it's going to get me to stop eating this shit. The arsenic and candy. For anyone who's eating candy, there's a huge thing with arsenic. But yeah, if you can get less ingredients, that's always going to be better. Domestic cats are descendants of African wildcats who decide for themselves to live with humans, eat our scraps, and pests. I see. Did not know that. And now I do. And knowing is half of the battle. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this arsenic candy thing. And again, nobody should be eating candy. I know. But not it's like a thing. Yeah, okay. It's fun. Hey, candy, good. Candy's already fucking poison, but it's like, no, it's literal poison.
The Florida Department of Health testing 46 candy products from 10 different companies, finding 28 had elevated levels of arsenic. 26 of the candies coming from very popular brands, things that our children are reaching for in the grocery store. This research is the next step in the state's Healthy Florida First initiative to bring transparency back to the grocery store.
You know, there's a reasonable expectation that our food supply, especially foods marketed to children, should not contain toxic chemicals. In 26 of the 33 traditional candy brands tested,
is that a reasonable expectation? I don't have that expectation, unfortunately. I wish that was an expectation that was reasonable. But in America, that's not a reasonable expectation. That any food is free. Even stuff like a lot of fruit and vegetables have fucking elevated chemicals because of all the bullshit they do as far as the growing it, even, adding to some of these products. So unfortunately, that's no longer a reasonable expectation because the fucking FDA doesn't do a goddamn thing. And a lot of these, I'm surprised this state even did it. It's accidental that we even came across this information. But let's keep going.
Arsenic was detected at elevated levels.
Well, here to tell us more is Florida's First Lady, Casey DeSantis. Great to have you with us, First Lady.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. I love this initiative because you started with baby formulas. And if you go on your website, which we'll give to the folks at home, you can see which baby formulas have things like mercury in it, have things like arsenic. And now you're focusing on the candies. Great job at the press conference yesterday. Tell us what your findings are.
Thank you. Yeah, well, we're finding you're right. We started with a baby formula.
Are you going to give us the fucking website? The fuck? We'll give it to the people at home. Is it here? Nope. You can become a Fox News patriot. The fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ. Just tell me about this fucking. Just report the goddamn news.
Found 16 of 24 baby formulas had elevated levels of arsenic, lead, cadmium, and mercury. And we said from the.
So that's already fucked up. All these baby formulas. That's how they even started this shit. 16 of 24 baby formulas they tested had elevated, was it cadmium, lead, I think mercury. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. And when it's that many, you're like, is this by accident? Is this by apathy? Is this intentional? What the fuck is going on? And knowing the tenor of the people who are the powers that be, the idea that this is not only, apathetic is best case scenario, or they just don't care enough about the process, hence why it's like this. Intent is even a much more disturbing thing. Who knows? You can't put it past these demons, right? I know we're supposed to be less positive, more positive, less negative, but just in case you think, oh, I might pick up some Sour Patches, don't do that.
Beginning, we're going to keep testing things in the food supply. So our next step is into the candy, and you revealed the results of that. Elevated level of arsenic, sometimes 30 and 40 times what other foods might presumably have. So it's very problematic that we're finding it, and also that consumers don't know that it's there, that parents don't know when they're going and they're giving their kids Nerds or Twix or what have you, that there's arsenic in it. And obviously, arsenic in aggregate can be a big problem, especially for little kids.
Yeah, you talked about that yesterday. You said it could cause developmental impacts, effect on the immune system, and cancer even later in life. Before we get to the good candies, tell us some examples of what you found in the bad candies.
Yeah, so 20 and 40 times the amount of arsenic that we might find in other candies, right? And so this is problematic. But here's the thing. When you look at it, the context and perspective is really important. And our Surgeon General said it's not necessarily just one individual piece of candy. It's when you're eating a lot of it. So let me give you a definition of what a lot is. For Nerds, if you're consuming more than 96 Nerds, that is more than what you should be consuming in a year as it pertains to arsenic consumption. So kids aren't eating just 96 Nerds. When you think about a box typically has 2,000 Nerds in it, or one of those big boxes that you might get at a movie theater that has 8,000 Nerds. So 96, I mean, they're going to eat more than that. And then you look at arsenic in aggregate. So you look at Twix and another, Milky Way or what have you, and it starts to add up, and you're going well beyond what the Florida Department of Health would say is a safe level of arsenic, for a year.
Can you give us some more examples?
There shouldn't be a safe level of arsenic. I'm already sick of these dumb hoes talking. I'm going to Google and try to find a site. Or maybe, I guess, cut to the end. Just examples. Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia testing. I guess I'll play the end because this is the rebuttal.
Food out there, and then we can trust to make sure it's indeed what they say it is.
We only have 30 seconds. I just have to get the statement in from the company that makes those three candies that you focused on. The recent announcement from the state of Florida is misguided and demonstrates a glaring lack of transparency related to data-driven scientific safety thresholds and the elevation of confectionery products. Food safety and product quality remain our highest priorities, and we remain dedicated to being transparent and socially responsible, and we will follow the science. If you want the website, it's exposing.
I'm muted, but we found it. ExposingFoodToxins.com. That was their rebuttal. It was some bullshit. I don't know why they couldn't just put that in their fucking YouTube, but fucking boomer, Republicans. And why isn't it like something.gov or something? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't make these things. But I'm just gonna put this in the chat. You want to do your research on stuff that the state of Florida has been looking at, and you guys can make your own determination. Arsenic is literally poisonous to all creatures of the earth. Isn't health just dying at the slowest possible rate? It is, but you don't want to speed that shit up. Arsenic is highly dangerous. It can replace phosphorus that normally should be in your body. That's not good. FDA stands for Forced Drug Administration. Exactly. Well, something about the live longer, which I've actually heard that our life expectancy is starting to decrease. So much of that was childbirth. So childbirth, what would happen is, if a woman having a kid was an event because of where we were medically. So, which it still is. There still are risks, even with all the medical technology we have. But both the woman and her child were at risk every time there was a childbirth. And so most humans, or not most, but maybe, I don't even know, a huge portion didn't make it to see day 2. You know what I'm saying? Or week 2. So that dramatically dropped the life expectancy as a result. That's not to say that there weren't also people who died at a younger age, but there were still people, 200 years ago who lived to be 100, right? There were people in the 18, I remember seeing something from the 40s or the 50s. It was a television program, and they were interviewing people who were alive during the Civil War, right? So there were still people who could live, who had great longevity even back then. But a lot of that was, again, that average was taken down because of a lot of childbirth and issues there. But that's not that long ago. That's only talking about 100, 200 years ago, 150 years ago, and even then, talking about wide adaptation, there's still ghetto hospitals and stuff like that. So I mean, and our grandparents and older generation, even there were still issues. What is baby formula? It is if you don't want to breastfeed your child, or you can't for whatever reason, you feed your child baby formula. Decepticon says mercury causes autism, which amongst other things infuriating, because I have kids that will eat these candies. If you can keep it out of them, if you can keep it away from them, please do. Some people eat candy, man. Everyone's, that's the issue with the Mr. A logic. Everyone isn't you. Everyone doesn't have the same standard as you are. So your own perspective is just one. And you have to always keep that in mind with anything you're adapting things. There's people who eat nerds. I kept seeing that shit. What's it called? Like a candy salad? I kept seeing these shorts and reels and whatever. It was like a thing. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. Where these it was mostly Caucasian women. They would trauma dump, and they would talk about their issues and add candy to a bowl and call it a candy salad. And they would just eat a bunch of candy to deal with whatever trauma. And nerds were a popular candy. And then they got these like nerds cluster rope things that became a thing. So yeah, nerds. And do you know there are natural plant chemicals that don't harm humans but kill bugs? I didn't know that. Yet the more artificial pesticides are cheaper, so most farms use them. I would almost wonder if there if that expense is artificially, because again, I don't put it past the powers to be that the degrading of the food supply is not just, a lot of it's always just for profit, which I'm sure some of it is, but I think it's intentional. It wouldn't shock me if those artificial pesticides are kept, or the natural pesticides, or a combination of both, they're kept, their pricing fixed, so the artificial is always cheaper, and the natural is always more expensive. Some of that is already kind of proven with if you compare organic country to country, you compare what we consider organic and that quality to something in a different country. Sometimes there's, people are so evil, they'll arbitrarily make something, create a situation so the worst thing is cheaper. Just think about how, a bottle of water, it can be more expensive than a bottle of Coca-Cola when Coca-Cola has water, right? And then it has a shit ton of other chemicals. But so that's artificial, price fixing. Yeah, man, nerds. And check the site. I put the site. You guys can do the research yourself. I have Nerds Candy at home. Going to throw them right. Yeah, throw that shit out. Tiny women do have issues producing kids. Yeah, two grandpas away, definitely. Chill on A till they come out the grave. Fair enough. Those videos. So yeah, I'm not the one who saw those videos. Yeah, they were pretty mentally challenged. But it was a trend. It was a pretty popular trend, even though you say they're mentally challenged. Though a lot of stuff on the internet is pushed by mentally challenged people, right? But humans cannot deal with herbicides, but you can chill and inhale insecticides. I see. Your body cannot produce anything to protect you from a herbicide. Always wear a mask when you apply it. I see. Keep that in mind. So yeah, I did see that. You're not trying to be negative, but just trying to, give you guys information. You could do the research. And again, we know certain things are bad, right? We know candy's not good. We know sugar's not good. Apparently, I also have bread. We were talking about bread. They have some stuff about bread as well. You can download it, and this is all publicly available information. So shout out to the state of Florida actually providing something. And so they were able to detect glyphosate in some bread. I mean, obviously they didn't do a ton, but Dave's Killer Bread still, now obviously is a lot less glyphosate than the others. But believe it or not, Sara Lee and Pepperidge Farm had the least amount of glyphosate. So there you go. Let's go back to the candy toxins. So, certain thing, So this is strange. I always wondered why the fuck they call these organic gummy bears. I'm like, how the fuck can gummy bears be organic? But apparently, they just mean no arsenic. I mean, shit. And these are the per year limits. So, okay, the regular gummy bears, arsenic. Organic, none. Risk not identified. And you can only eat 16 a year. If you're a child, 40 a year. So that's less than so if you ate 2 bags of this, you've done a lot more arsenic than you should have eaten ever, which again, 0 should be the fucking limit. And Pepperidge Farm does remember, apparently, not to put phosphate in their bread, and everybody else doesn't. Sourdough, they didn't do a ton of breads. They just did regular, I think, white breads, and they didn't do every brand. It could be. So I wonder how exhaustive is this research. I don't necessarily listen. Apparently, Laffy Taffy cherry is good. Laffy Taffy banana is bad. I would just stay away from the Laffy Taffies, and honestly, I would stay away from these quote unquote organic gummy bears as well. That sounds crazy. Well, maybe it comes from a different flavoring. Maybe one of these flavorings have arsenic and one doesn't. I don't know. That's pretty strange. Yeah, these nerd clusters. These are the things I'm talking about. I kept seeing these fucking things. These 60 pieces a year, a fucking year, and they have a ton of arsenic. Sweet tarts. I haven't had sweet tarts since the 90s. I don't know anyone else that's had. But yeah, only 120 pieces a year. Oh, not the trolley gummy worms. Since I heard the store, I haven't got any, but I do like these. 30 pieces a year. I can assure you, I've had more than 30 pieces. So this is also weird. Hershey's regular milk chocolate, A-OK. The cookies and cream, not 3 bars a year if you want to survive. Jolly Ranchers, can't have 15 Jolly Ranchers in a year. Fucking nuts. But I guess Reese's peanut butter cups are okay. I don't know if any of this shit is okay. M&M's, no. M&M's are good, but Snickers aren't. I just stay away from all of it. She mentioned Twix and Milky Way, but it says risk not identified. Skittles are fucked. And then Sour Patches, that's another one I eat. Oh, and Dots. Oh, so yeah, no candy. They got some unreal, some bullshit candy. So if you want some of this bullshit candy, I guess you can still eat this shit. Fuck. This is depressing. It should look like ChatGPT. It could. I'm sure it was ChatGPT. This is supposedly the state of Florida says is real. Healthy Florida first. America first. See, they got the racially nondescript woman and her child. They're building a healthier Florida together. The DeSantis bitch just said it was cool. That's how we even got here. This hoe. She said this shit's real. Now I know there's people. You know what? They don't really provide. I'm not seeing. Honestly, I was expecting to see like. Okay, we can download the test results. Oh, that's just this. No, I'm looking for like medical information, like something that's peer reviewed, not just a chart. That's not gonna get it done. But I'm like, man, I fucking love candy. I am a candy fucking addict, bro. Like, this is going to be... And listen, I already had to lessen the candy. I already knew that was a thing. I'm trying to lessen the sugar. Sugar is a killer, and I know it. And blood sugar, I know it. And because I'm trying to, I've become more hormonally aware of weight loss and how bad sugar and insulin spikes and all that stuff is. Candy's already on the list to lower. But I didn't know I had to eliminate, like, okay, you can't have any more Skittles at all the rest of the year in life. No more. It's like, shit. And I fucking love candy, bro. I hate to say it. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I love candy. I feel like, shit, when they had the what was the motherfucker? Was it Lamar Odom? And he had all the candy. I'm not this bad, but I'm close to it. Yeah, this shit was crazy. Y'all ever see this shit? This is from back in the day. Oops, now let me do all this. Hopefully we can get through this. And this might be the last thing we get out. Lock in, make candy at home? Question mark. I need to look into that. I'm not gonna throw that out. Yeah, I got it, but I was still like hoping on that 10% to get that candy. Shout out to the who was it? Tyson. He had one, probably the best Super Bowl commercial by a long shot, where he was talking about eating more healthy food, eating more whole foods, talking about some of the people in his life who lost their lives because of obesity, and he had got up to 340 pounds. Make orange chicken like this. I can't cook. I'm gonna just have to fast and try to pull hoes. Which fasting is good anyway. Don't just look at everything. You should at least intermittent fast, regularly. But I thought about getting a bread maker. Right, everything's off right now, but I still have a physical juice, like a manual juice, and I've yet to open it. And I keep telling myself I need to open it and go grab some stuff to juice, and I've been lazy on it. Super lazy. But okay, let's see this 07 with Lamar Odom and his addiction to candy. Hopefully he's better. I mean, I know he had addiction to other substances as well. But let's watch Lamar Odom, and then we'll probably be ending after that.
It's Saturday morning in Los Angeles, and Anthony Mac McNair is making his weekly run to the grocery store.
Let's go shop. Let's go to Ralph's, and you'll see what my day is.
But instead of stocking up on the essentials,
We got to go down 13 right here. That's the sweet aisle.
Mac loads up on sweets. A rush of sugar to feed the addiction of the Lakers star he's been the personal assistant for the last 6 years. Lamar Odom is quite simply the candy man.
I'm the supplier on the team. If you need that candy fix, I got it.
Man, every day in the morning time, he got like 3 bags of candy, on the bus.
He brings candy to the plane.
When we going to shoot around, he got bags of candy.
He brings so much that he offers to everybody because I don't think he can eat it all by himself.
Odom's sweet tooth has now become a fanatical obsession.
Hershey's white chocolate cookies and cream. I go through like 4 or 5 packs of those a day.
Pecan swirls, honey buns.
Watermelon, now latest. Sometimes after the game, too. Always eat a Snickers. Satisfies you.
So to be somewhat fair to Lamar Odom, this is pretty much prime Lamar Odom. I know, like, pro athletes can burn a shit ton of calories. Like, we've seen, like, Michael Phelps' diet and Usain Bolt diet. And sometimes they do end up, because, like, just from raw calorie need, they do eat a little less clean and can just burn it off. But, this gets pretty crazy as far as the amount of candy this guy will put down. Or did.
Nibs, my gummy savers.
I'm like a chocolate freak at night. These are really good. I will sometimes wake up like 3, 4 in the morning, and like I'll just have candy around my bed, maybe like some Starburst or Skittles, and I just kind of like reach over, like eat it, and like go back to sleep, no problem. I mean, it's bad.
How is it that you can be one of the top athletes in the world and still consume all that sugar?
I don't know. I mean, we all got our vices, and I guess sugar is just one of mine.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
That puts the pressure on Mac, who prowls local stores to keep his boss in stock.
Gummies, Life-Saving Flu Explosions, Wild Berry Gummies, Tangy Fruit Gummies. Oh. Peachy Rings.
Gummy worms are on sale, 2 for $5.
We can try them. You might like it. I don't know about this guy.
Look at all
Starting to
that
scare
shit.
me.
Honey
I
bun.
just do it all day.
That's
I can't-
crazy, honestly.
I can't help it.
That's fucking crazy to see that shit. This is a world-class athlete. She said, like, if you made it to the NBA, you're the top 1 percentile athletes on the planet. Especially then. This guy had basically a Hall of Fame career on fucking candy. But, I mean, I would consider him a Hall of Famer. Everybody wouldn't. But I would. And he was fucking on candy the whole damn time. And other shit.
You only live once. You eat as much candy as you can eat.
77-74. Okay, buddy. Tell him I said good luck.
77 fucking, what was this, 20, so this is $2010, 15 years ago. So let's do that. Let's hit the inflation calculator on $77 in 15 years. It's the official one for whatever it's worth. Let's go 20. And I think that was actually older than that, but we'll just go 2010. February 20. I haven't got 26 yet. Oh, boy. Okay, let's just do December 25. That's as good as we can do. $77 is 115. That's still depressing. That's so depressing to see. That money in the basement just from 15 years. But that's 100. This guy had $100 in candy, which is buying $100 in candy and honey buns and shit, and made it to the NBA. Was one of the best players. Hey, Fireball. Appreciate you being here. How am I like Cardi B? What the fuck? Sick of this candy let ass dude. They did. Now they wonder why Kobe didn't pass the ball. Like this motherfucker he was on other shit. He was on some other type of candy. This is racist and I'm offended. Fireball. Oh, I don't cook. That was a good one. That was a good one. I can't laugh. Oh, hey, Cinches, y'all coming in, pause. And I was just about to leave. I was just about to end this shit. Kobe was sick of this roster. He said you like Cardi B, you don't cook. What she say? She don't cook, she don't clean. Let me know how you, she let you know how you got this ring. That's wild work. I really do. I heat shit up. I can heat shit up. I appreciate y'all both being here. Since I've recorded music. I was like, oh yeah, if you show up, I'll play some of the music I've recorded and go to where I am. And yeah, now ain't nobody got a ring, and then not her man. Apparently broke up with halfway through the Super Bowl. Pause again. Yeah, there's a lot of pause-worthy shit. I mean, we got a motherfucker named Cinch a Dildo here. That's an automatic pause. But we deal with him. And I appreciate you being here. Appreciate Matt being here. It's always cool to show up. We've been focused on, actually, if there is a focus of this stream, it's been health. We were talking about fucking weightlifting, and we got into this Florida candy thing. Because we don't let nothing slide after the big pause of 2025. Listen, I'm standing on business. I mean, I'm not trying to see upper thigh. I'm not trying to see pause. I'm not trying to see a man's gash either. Pause. Super pause. Leslie called you after Zaxxon's show to ask what Fireball waffin. I don't know what Fireball waffin means. Back in 1933. Oh boy, is that a Blitler reference? But yeah, the Master Channel. Oh man, I almost lost your leg. But I did ask if you were okay, and I'm not trying to see a man's upper thigh or like a deep, like that was a pretty bad injury. So for those who don't know in the lore, and anybody can talk to me on fucking Instagram. Sometimes Zombie Man to show up, Kai, and if anyone wants to contact me on Instagram, I'm on Instagram. Richard, I'm pretty cool with Richard outside of the stream. I've been messaging him on Instagram for a minute. He hurt his leg. He sends me a picture of his leg. It's like his upper thigh, and then his leg is like injured, and it would look pretty bad. I'm a friend, you know what I mean? But I'm really not trying to see anyone's upper thigh unless it's like a chick. So, nor am I really trying to see the injury because it wasn't good. Like it was pretty bad. He's in his right to be pissed, but I still stand on my behavior. Like I would do it again. I did ask if he's okay. That was the second question, right? That was the first. Exactly. Pause. My first concern was pause. And then I said, yo, are you okay? Because it's like, hey, it's some upper thigh and like your legs hanging off. It wasn't that bad, leg hanging off, but it was pretty deep. Pause. So my first thought was pause. And I stand on it. The biker shorts the hoes wearing, know they're uncomfortable. I don't see how some. I mean, shout out to the girls in the tight clothes. I don't know if his leg's gonna snap off. It wasn't like this. It wasn't that macabre, like where it's like, oh shit, his leg's sawed off. But he had a gash. Pause. You know what I'm talking? Now this is sorta. That's usually you do that and it's not accurate. That's one of the more accurate ones. It was pause. Hey bro, you good? It was AEO pause. Hey bro, you good? But it was in that order, and I stand on that order. I stand on that order. I stand on it. I would, if any of you did it, we would get the same reaction. If my brother does it, yo, pause. Are you okay? I guess I'll probably give family a little bit more grace than that. He still might get the pause first though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was raised on Dipset. When Dipset, and then it became popular. Like, it became a thing. I had already said pause 1,000,000 times in my life before it became an internet meme. And then it becomes an internet meme. I'm sorry, man. There's nothing I could do. It's out of my control. It's out of my control. Man, pause on the negativity. We ain't gonna deal with this. Listen, Real Wade. That's not what happened. Listen, Real Wade. This is a positive fucking channel. I'm partially joking. I'm partially serious. Listen, I ain't gonna say. There's hoes out here, man. I know I shouldn't say hoes. Let me be adult. There's women out here. There's hoes out here too. In fact, there's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. No more Cardi B references the rest of the stream. There's women out there. I understand being negative. Don't say that shit. Yeah, retract that message. That's right. It's not good for your mental to be telling yourself that shit, right? Straight up. It's not good. Everybody gonna have their ups and downs. Pause. But it's not good for you to be like, oh, I'm never gonna get married. Don't tell yourself. Because you really want a wife and kids, you can have a wife and kids. If you really want to get and spend the time on your life to address it and say, you know what is it about me with dating? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Is it something, can I improve? Is it something as simple as, we were talking about a lot of fitness, maybe doing, I ain't even gonna say to go to the gym, maybe a physical activity push you. One thing is gonna improve your mood. Maybe trying to find a regular physical activity, put you in a better shape, a little bit better mood, a little bit nicer to be around. Something simple like that could be it. Is it, maybe a clothing thing, maybe switch your style up. Maybe it's where are you meeting women? Are you going to the bars? I know there's not a lot of third places. That's his own cultural thing. But these bars, going back to the hoes, ain't nothing but hoes. So if you meeting a bunch of hoes and like, damn, why I keep meeting hoes? But you keep going to the bars, well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can looks max. What's the guy? Clavicle? I keep saying clavicular? Is that what his name is? No goth white women. Just illegal tortas for me. Now that I'm in Texas. Only illegal tortas. Yeah, okay, clavicular. Yeah, that's the new thing. Yeah, you can looks max. Yeah, look up these broccoli hair kids. Do what they do. I know now that I'm going to this new gym, it's a lot. I heard of the broccoli haired guy on the bench texting. I now see it. There is the original song because Cardi sampled it. Some hoes and Frank Ski. Yes, shout out to Frank Ski. I ain't heard that name in.
There's some whores in this house. 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 There's some whores in this house.
I wonder if we'll get claimed. I'll play part of it.
There's some whores in this house. 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 There's some whores.
All right, we get the point.
There's some whores in this house.
There's hoes in the house. Gender affirming care. Looks Maxie is The gayest shit ever. May as well go Troon. Legal tortures are useless as hell. You're probably right. I remember when WAP came out. Yeah, wasn't that weird? That was like a cultural moment, WAP. That was like a huge thing. I guess WAP really was the peak of horror rap. Horror rap hasn't been the same since WAP. That was the peak moment, and it's been a fall off since. I mean, shit, rap, not WAP, has also fallen off since. I mean, goodness, nobody cares. That's why I'm making an album. It won't be successful. I hate to speak that into existence. Oh, God, I was going to bring up Ben. Ben Shapiro reading that is one of the gifts, one of God's, every now and again, God uses the internet to give us all a gift. And Ben Shapiro reading the words of WAP and reading the lyrics of WAP was a gift that the Most High gave us all. Through his alleged chosen people, even. Because that was fucking hilarious. Yeah, that was it. I think the controversy, back in the day, you used to have, everything was controversial and they had parents stumping on CDs every like 6 months, right? Rather it was Dr. Dre or Marilyn Manson or Eminem. It was just, parents was just mad the whole 90s, 80s back in the day. Quiet Riot, Poison. They were just mad the whole good 20 years of that shit. So it was a thing that happened all the time. But we had went a gap when you had something that was extremely popular and extremely controversial at the same time. Like part of that was because of that era. We kind of got desensitized to it. See Dolores Tucker. It was so much of that during the 80s, 90s, and even into the 2000s of that. The kids are in mind. We just stopped giving a fuck for a while. And then when WAP dropped, it just was another moment of holy shit. This is on the radio? Like, it was a thing. Yes, there was a controversy over WAP. Yeah. It's literally Cardi B singing how slutty is, which is what she does in every other fucking song. It's not like this wasn't an original concept for Cardi B. But it was something about it that just hit the national zeitgeist at that moment. And maybe because we were also entering in that politicization era. So then the right had something to be outraged about. And it made the song get even more popular to where you couldn't, maybe the music video, but we had seen, the Thong song came out before you and Richard and some of the chat was even born. Right? Yeah. Were you born in 2000? I know you're young. I know Richard's young. But the Thong song came out in the night. And even before that, you had Luke. Luke came out before I was born. What was it? Misa Horny? Misa Horny, if I was born, I was like 1 or 2. They literally had lactating fountain. But we had seen ass. We had the tip drill video. Must be your ass because it ain't your face. I need a tip drill. You had seen a lot of shit. Lactating fountain, but we had seen asshole. We had seen all sorts of crazy shit in videos. Fucking Sir Mix-a-Lot is rapping on a giant ass or with a giant ass behind him. And that's like 89, 90. So you would think we were that's goofy. Show me with that mouth. We had a lot of shit. We had the Whisper song. Wait till you see my dick. I'm gonna beat that pussy up. That was literally the lyrics to the song. It was one of the bigger songs that year. But yeah, I guess maybe Clear Punching ain't profitable. Foxy Brown was wholesome. Foxy Brown was wholesome compared to this WAP shit. Foxy could rap. Yeah, Foxy could rap. Shout out to that L99 album is a solid album. For if you like 90s rap, you don't like 90s rap, you're like, it sounds dated, you fuck you. Which honestly is part of it. Like I'm doing a rap project. Part of me is wondering if I'm an unk. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm just an old motherfucker rapping. Which I am an old motherfucker rapper, but some of this song, there's a song in particular that sounds like it. I don't know if I feel like doing that for this. I could, right, y'all here. She was nice. Yeah, she was nice. You like Angie Martinez? I only remember the one song, and then I remember her being a DJ. I don't even remember what that song was. But I mean, not to I don't want to become Jim Jones. Yeah. I don't. Not to perpetuate, you always had things for Latinas, but I mean, yeah. She was kind of cute. You know what actually fucked her up with me? What movie? It's one of those old hood movies. It may even be State Property or one of them. And she's like fucking Nori. And I thought Nori was so, and now he's famous, so now everyone knows he's lame. But I like some of Nori's music. Everybody, Nori had got a lot. He was one of the first people to work with the Neptunes a lot, so he had some cold beats. But it was this scene, Nori's fucking, and I'm like, you would fuck Nori? And I know it's a movie character, but it's just like, ugh, like you fucking lame bitch. So I just lost respect for her. Yeah, I think it's State Property or State Property 2. So there were a lot of I guess Tubi is now where they have them, right? Now we would call these Tubi movies. There were a lot of low-budget black movies in the 2000s, even into the 10s, where either rappers or like gamers in some of these movies. And, they're just very low budget. They just throw the movie together and they get it released. Because remember, you used to sell DVDs, so you didn't necessarily have to get. You didn't really have to get. Paid in Full was the best, because Paid in Full was to me they not just Cam, it was taking a step more serious. I would kind of consider Paid in Full to be one of these movies, but I almost wouldn't because the quality was a lot higher. Like they took it just that extra step seriously to get out of the hood movie thing. Yeah, Snoop did a few of them. Eric B. Rakim. I mean, I'm not sure what we're talking about. We're just talking about being old and rapping. I mean, I like, obviously that's a dope album. The Eric B. Rakim Paid in Full album. Classic album. But yeah, there was a lot of those cheap B movies. Oh no, you're saying Paid. Okay, Paid in Full, not the album. There was a movie called Paid in Full. I'm sorry, I did not click. Yeah, not Eric B. and Rakim, the Paid in Full album, even though that's a classic album that's fucking great. And everybody should listen to it. It still holds up. It's literally as old as me. I think it came out the year I was born, which is 87. But no, I'm not talking about the album. I'm talking about the movie. But you're talking about the LP, which was actually great. So sorry to confuse. There was a movie called Paid in Full that was about a bunch of drug dealers in New York. Both are classic. That's a classic movie. That's a classic album. Consume both. They're not really related outside the title. But the movie's about these drug dealers in New York. Basically, drug dealers in the 80s in New York. The movie was made in the 2000s though, and Cameron's one of the main characters. Well, he plays one of the main characters, which is Alpo, but he's just Cameron, and he kind of takes over the movie. I guess you could consider him. I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, that's the classic scene. More of a Belly. Belly is another good one. Belly's pretty good. They made a Belly 2, which I would consider that to be a hood movie. I never saw Belly 2. I didn't have any interest in it. The Belly. So you saw Belly. So yeah, you get the idea. You saw Belly. But you get the idea. Shout out to that one Jamaican dude. Or whatever island he was. We just assume Jamaican, right? I don't know, like I said, so some of this, everybody clown Nas for having this bad acting. He was just basically Nas. He really didn't act. He didn't really act much. And DMX was probably just DMX. I don't know how much acting there was. They didn't have a good rep in retrospect. But I guess he's just, DMX is he's just a raw, charismatic person. Like, he's one of the most charismatic humans. He just happened to rap. Like, he was just, he's just one of those people. Like, even though he's not even that tall, DMX, rest in peace. But like, you just can't, like, what the fuck is going on? I can't take my eyes off of this human. I can't take my eyes off him. Well, it's a cult classic, definitely. I would definitely say it's a cult classic. If it's a hood, it's a certified hood classic. The meme has come true. The meme has come to fruition. The album is certainly a classic. The album, generated this. Since you're here, listen, because you're the music guy, you and my brother are the only humans that I have around me that listen to hip hop regularly enough that I can use to any respect. With the synth pop, I'm like, I can throw anything, throw everybody in it, right? I played some of the shit I had already done, which I actually changed the mic settings slightly, so I'm probably going to re-record what I played before. But since you're here, and I'm not sure how long you are going to be here, since I'm going to play some more of this project, which I'm thinking about cutting tracks. And I'm actually even going to play one of the ones I'm thinking about cutting. If I can get everything back on the right screen, which I can't. I can now. Okay. Spin it. DMX, that's sus lyric stuff. He is talking about, you know what he's talking about? Let's make it a full circle. I talked about training. There's one training video that motivates the hell out of me. And DMX is not helping things because he's talking about basically taking manhood. Taking your manhood. And I'll tell you the training, the video, and it's a joke, but I bullshit you not. It does legitimately motivate me to continue to exercise and to continue to train with weight training because it's a true statement. Ooh. Whoops.
In high school, PR kind of ruined this saying for me, but if one man can hold you down, two can rape you. And I would be damned if one man could hold me down.
Spin it back one more time.
PR kind of ruined this saying for me, but if one man can hold you down, two can rape you. And I would be damned if one man could hold me down.
I'd be damned about the other half of that equation too. Just my 2 cents.
So yeah, if one man can hold you down, two indeed can rape you. That's the reality. So that's why. All right, here's some music. It's not really mixed. It's not really much to mix. It's only, because it's just a loop and me spitting, and then me talking shit in between verses. But here we go. Yeah, you can hear it. Yeah. I guess in this world we all wear masks, right? I ain't the only one in the mask. Y'all not gonna tell me I've been on this earth a long time. I'm in a mask trying to save face. Name brands the slaves make, and they cheap knockoffs both made in the same place. Trying to change fate and maintain faith. They say there ain't a place in the world that ain't safe. We not in the same place, even in the same place. Gallon bag of gas, brain ain't in the same space. Is everyone in mask for everything they can't face? Is everybody the same with the exact same taste? Should you follow your dreams? Everything you can't chase. A lot of obstacles you may face, some you can't face. Do you know what conditional love is? Don't you know fairs where they judge pigs? People not empathic, they think it's pathetic. Do you know what the tenor of the judge is? Two-faced, too fake where the plug is. Everybody focuses what the drugs is. Drugs are bad. I mean, I'm not even joking. Drugs are really bad. I smoke. I don't recommend it. I know the album called Potency and shit, but I mean, it's cool for me though. It keep me going through the day because it's a fake world. Everybody got a mask. Everybody got a mask, man. In a mask trying to save face, everything you can't face. Are you in the same place when you in the same place? What do you judge, Judy? Only God judge truly. People judge people like people judge movies. It's not an action flick, just randos that act a prick. People play themselves and ain't even accurate. people play themselves just like they actresses. That's why everybody's focused on where the action is. Actual lies instead of trying to be actualized. Does a fake world impact their actual lives? Rap like the renters do so I can buy a house that you don't own for an inflated high amount. Gallon bag of gas, to me, that's a high amount. Smoke, so a high amount of my time is a high amount. It's potent. It's potent. I started to smoke during that. So yeah, it's already living up. So okay, the project is actually called Potency. That's the name of the whole project, and I guess I'm naming the intro Potency. And at first I thought when I wrote it, like, man, there's not enough weed references, but there are enough. But I don't want to. It's not just a straight weed album. Not just a straight weed album. And yeah, I did fix my chain, and it was actually very simple. You had kind of mentioned it's distorted. I just had it. I think I had switched my mic vocal chain because I was using it for my guitar. Shit, there's been no production, but just that jazz stuff. Okay, that double album Nas put out, I'll take that. It's not really a weed album. It's not. It's a double entendre album or a triple entendre album. That's because the idea is not that it's potent, even though there's weed references throughout. But it's about the idea was that the lyrics, that was called Masks. That's the working title. I mean, I could change all these titles. I could change the title of the fucking album if I want. I don't have much done. And it's not. I shouldn't say album. This was gonna be an EP because I already want to do other things. This is the song, and I put this on here so everything wasn't just drumless. And so I put, okay, let me put something that's like a standard boom bap. But then as I listen to it, it just sounds too standard it's just like, God, this is kind of the boom bap I got bored of. But I made the song, finished the song. We're like, this is the exact boom bap that I got bored of. But I'll play it for you guys. I may keep it, I may not. Oh, you talking about Nas's album, Street's Disciple? Yes. Street's Disciple. Yeah, I actually like that double album, but like most double albums, speaking of J. Cole who just dropped, which I haven't heard the whole thing. Some double albums, like, just cut some of these songs and make one good album. That's you can make a double album, and sometimes that actually happens and it actually ends up good. Make a double album, cut the songs you don't want, keep the rest of the album. I haven't heard the whole Cole. I heard parts are still cool. Listening on an iPad going to college. Shout out to that. Honestly, I think I did too. I think I was in community college. Listen to that Street's Disciple. Shout out to Nas. People forget about Nas's catalog. I mean, a lot of people are kind of, his recent catalog, which is dope. But Nas I forgot about Street's Disciple, the Untitled album that was supposed to be the N-word. Yeah, some good stuff. And there was some cool joints on there. He had is that the one with Ludacris? I think it was Ludacris and Slick Rick, or Ludacris and not Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh. He had the Dougie Fresh beat. The Virgo. I thought that song was cold as fuck. But like nobody, I'm still a crazy Nas fan. Nas is one of my favorite rappers. He had the track with his dad. That got kind of popular. But it was that dun, 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 dun. I kind of not, and then he had that I Know I Can. With I guess I didn't really like those super like public domain generic beats. Sometimes he would rap off of. I'm not gonna go the whole Nas picks bad beats, because Nas does not always pick bad beats. Some beats and shit. As a producer, I don't always make good beats. The King Disease trilogy is really nice, and the Magic. All of that's been pretty nice. Check out, especially the King Disease 3, especially, but all of them are good. 2 was good. Actually, 2 was pretty good too. Yeah, that was also crazy. He had a bunch of songs about getting married to Khalees, and then 2 albums later, he has a whole album about him getting divorced. Which that album was cold too. Life is Good. Life is Good is one of the coldest albums. That's the one with Daughters. Then he had the song Stay. Oh, man, I listen to Stay like to this day. Nas got one of the best catalogs in music. Like, see, that's the thing with being prolific. When you got like, because Nas, how many albums does Nas have? Like 20? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, everything may not be perfect, but then it's like, damn, he's got like 8 albums that I fucking love. You know what I'm saying? Oh, check in with Nas's recent stuff. It's some of the best stuff he's been doing. He's still fucking got it. Even at like, was he 55, 50s, 60s, whatever he is. And I still want to be like Nas. So here's this shit that sounds 90 as fuck. And almost to a fault. Almost to a fault. We'll play it.
People gangster when the bass and the snare hit. You scared shit, but you fake, you the Blair Witch. We are not the same, there's no comparison. Weed smoke got me higher than an airship. It's a day of the vintage, what's the difference? At least you know when I spit it, it's authentic. Even though people rather the fake shit, most people agents in the matrix. That's the reason the reality is fakeness. With all the resentment and the hatred, can't afford shit, can't pay shit. You don't get what you want, then you take shit. Take shit, wreck shit, now that ain't shit. All our elders told us that we ain't shit. Burn grass, so life makes sense. Burn grass, so you kill the snake shit. Be a sober mind, can't always stay bent. Home on a rap like I can't pay rent. Underground, the South don't got basements. People gangster when the snare and the bass hit. People gangster when the bass and the snare hit. You scared shit, but you fake, you the Blair Witch. We are not the same, there's no comparison. Weed smoke got me higher than the airship. People gangster when the bass and the snare hit. You scared shit, but you fake, you the Blair Witch. We are not the same, there's no comparison. Weed smoke got me higher than the airship. All the gangsters you worship was really snitches. Kingpin turned witness, Blair Witches. Propaganda and hype, people love gimmicks. Tropicana and Sprite got me above limits. Different strains hit the brain, some hit the same. If you stay insane, then you never get insane. If you stay the same, then you never get to change. Dollars are digital, I can't get you change. We the new unks, how I'm supposed to give you game when our elders so dope to get a dames? All I can say is change to a different lane, because everything is changed, ain't shit the same. Too many people, cool doing evil. I can't tell what's faker, the food or the people. The root of the evil is the love of the money. Shit feel like a stage, ain't nothing funny. People gangster when the bass and the snare hit. You scared shit, but you fake, you the Blair Witch. We are not the same, there's no comparison. Weed smoke got me higher than the airship. People gangster when the bass and the snare hit. You scared shit, but you fake, you the Blair Witch. We are not the same, there's no comparison. Weed smoke got me higher than the airship.
Okay, I'm sorry, this is a weed album, my bad. This is a weed album. It's about more than weed, but it's a weed album. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep that song. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. And actually, Cole made me think I may not keep it. I could, I didn't think to add swing to the drums, but that would help. That would help. King's, if I was to pick one album to check in, King Disease 3 would be it. His biggest weakness is Cruise Wild, Tech 9. Oh man, you talking about the fucking Bravehearts? That's why he joked and said he was. I don't know if they were really his bodyguards, but I mean, yeah, they weren't. AZ could rap, but AZ didn't really rap that. I mean, they got a couple songs together, and obviously Life is a Bitch is great, but like, they didn't have as much music as you would have wanted. Melody's Chop Night. Okay. Well, maybe I just thought it was like, man, this is too like. And listen, I love it. Obviously, nostalgia is a part of the music I do, whether it's 80s shit or 90s shit, because I do love nostalgia. Yeah, AZ's fucking great. But I mean, despite you thinking of like Nas and AZ, they only have like 5 or 10 songs again over like 20 albums together. Like where you're just like, okay, if they had maybe more. But yeah, I remember some of those. What was the guy like Jungle? Some of those verses are kind of gotta. Jay-Z said Uchiwali Bodyguard verse better than yours. I mean, he was joking. That was a joke. Okay, this is the last thing I have recorded. It's the drums. To me, it's not just the drums. It's I guess the drums engendered I don't know. Yeah, even some of those extra ones will still make. Yeah, some of them was just like, okay, man, I'm good. I didn't even actually come here for you, and you're not helping things. Maybe it's just something just like, even the hook. I liked the hook a lot more before I actually did it. I'm like, this is lame. I don't know. It's on the border of getting cut. Okay, this is
a lot of people ask me, what the fuck is the deal with the mask? You're not MF Doom. You're not MF Doom. You're not nobody nice. I guess I just always wanted to be a superhero, but in this world, I almost feel like a villain. I almost feel like the Riddler, not the Diddler. But the Riddler, y'all not even gonna catch most of these lines. Y'all don't even understand what's going on. All right. In this wicked world, a lot of people spin their wheels till excel at anything. You need confidence and skill. Balance where you want to be with where you is for real. And be allergic to the bullshit like Benadryl. It's Benadryl, not like practice, but everything in the atlas is trying to get you killed. Don't deal dope, don't know about flipping pills. Back in the day, white girls had brothers Emmett Till. Did that stop people from dealing? Hell no. Old heads moved the rock and gave people elbows. Stacks he held on wasn't really a large amount. Initially, I didn't understand what he was talking about. Drug money was plug money. So by all accounts, he risked his life and freedom for J's and some raunchy mouth. It's how I knew not to fucking walk that route. Still trying to figure out what life's about. Great reset, not a game, things falling out. Homeless people down the street from an empty larger house. Internet turn your mind into a landfill. We cook, chat, Greto and Hansel. Life's not a fairy tale, people lie very well. And it moves so fast it feel like a standstill. Pandemic kids is grown now, and ain't no way. Take the shot even if it's not open. Fade away, we all gonna die one day and fade away. Move to the country, eat peaches and fuck the pain away. President don't matter, man worship is crazy gay. Even worship that's inverted is perverted. Nothing's gonna happen unless money preferred it. Justice is for sale, can you afford the verdict? Slavery never ended, so they treat us like servants, they serpents.
That's the intro. That's pretty much all I got recorded. And it's going to be a short EP. It's only going to be like 5 to 7 songs. So, like I said, the one song, I'm keeping the intro. I'm keeping Mask. I like those. And then I'm keeping the other one. I got to re-record because, like I said, it was something with the vocal chain. I just had the fucking too much drive on the vocal chain. I think I used my guitar for that preamp, and that's why I was so driven. So I just turned that down. I did turn the compression down a little bit too, and that seemed to do the trick. So okay, and then, like all this stuff is unmixed. I'm hoping if 24 is ever gonna get back with me, I can see if his brother can, or him or his brother can get back with me. I'll see if they can mix it. If not, I'll find the same dude who mixed the first project on Fiverr. You fought with the last one? Okay, cool. Well, no, it was white girl. See, that's why I mean like the line. So okay, that's like my favorite line because that's like a really like a to rap Jesus like a quintuple, or it's a lot of entendres, right? It's like sextentendre. Like a white girl had brothers Emmett Till. There's the like literal of, okay, yes, if you talked to a white woman in a certain time, you could be hung or lynched or whatever, right? But in reference, I'm talking about the consequences from dealing crack. White girl, the crack, had brothers Emmett Till, had people fucked up and dead over crack, right? But then going back to and then, I go about how people didn't care about the consequences. And then my other favorite line is, old head moved the rock and gave people elbows. It's also like a basketball reference, like moving the rock passing and giving people the elbows, like, you know, you can give people elbows like on some bad boy piss and shit, but obviously it's also a reference to The Rock, whose move was the people elbow. But going back to the white girl Emmett Till, I also am slightly, if the way I pronounce it is close to the word immaterial, which has two meanings. One is like meaningless, the other is like spiritual. And that also is a reference to like the weird dichotomy of interracial relationships where some white girls look at a black dude as like less than, some in this almost deified version. So that's also a part of that line, even though the base level is I'm just trying to talk about an old crack dealer I knew. And why I'm like, okay, this crack, there's like a section, that little section of the song, that's the literal what it's about, but it's also shit. So yeah, but yeah, cocaine got brothers killed. Yeah, that's thing. Could mix it. That there is that thing, because it is like you just keep it gritty type shit. So yeah. There's a couple. I have a couple things I still need to record. Got to re-record. Then I had another beat that I never wrote to, but the idea was, and for some reason I want to have an odd number. It will only either be 5 or 7. And I don't know why. That just makes more sense to me. I guess I could have 6, but I don't know. I don't know. Or 4 or 8 or whatever. But I don't got 8. So I got 7 potential. So there was another beat, and I was like, to be a little different, I was going to try to like actually use auto-tune and other stuff on it, right? 7 is better. If I do 7, then I got to maybe just keep the boom bap shit. I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment with the swing. That'll be super easy to do, because I put every drum sound on its own thing, so I could just mess with the swing. And maybe that is the wave. Just mess with the swing until I come up with something, and maybe I'll like it a little bit better. Because there's something about just that. I felt like part of it was and there's some beats that I didn't use that I could have, and there's another beat that's going to be drumless that I will probably use. But I got to record it. But I was like, okay, damn, this is a bit too drumless. And then I added the one song with 808s that I got to re-record that I played y'all. And I have another song with 808s, like I said, I was going to auto-tune too. Because I was like, okay, I want it to have some variance. I don't want it to just, if there's an issue with the quote unquote, I hate to say lyrical miracle rapper, and I hate to say that I am one, but let's just go under that as just for some reason to a way of classifying everything. If there's an issue with that lyrical miracle rapper, is that it could be too samey. Though again, and I didn't dislike the J. Cole project. I haven't heard the whole thing. I have not heard any of this too. I do like songs from it, and the rapping is pretty good throughout. The recycled, if there's a knock, is some of the recycled concepts of using old hooks and stuff. That gets a little old. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I just think some whatever. But now it's a little less drumless, but I definitely felt like, when I was making it, it was too drumless. I'm like, okay, and I think, you're starting to see a little less drumless now. But I because it took me so long to make, I went through that process without going through that process live. I'm like, I could do this all drumless. I think this is too much drumless. Let me add some stuff with some drums. Then, this one, the one song y'all said, like the last one has like a break in it. So that way I was, okay, it's like a separate drum sample. I also have to clear it all, which I'm using TrackLib to do, but I've taken so long to do it, I just gotta hope that all the songs are still up there, and if not, that'll also change things. So there's steps. I need to get it recorded as soon as I can. Like I said, I got this house shit going on. We'll see how that goes. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. Like I said, I was thinking about ending, but you guys were here, and so all right, I'll just play what I got. I got a few more songs to record. It'll be a short, like I said, either 5 or 7. Hopefully I can find some you know, to some extent maybe mixes less important with the style of hip hop being made. But yeah, there's a lot. And listen, I know you guys just heard it once through, and you know, I wouldn't have remembered every lyric. But it's one of those things you actually listen to the lyrics that, you know, there's a lot of punchlines. You know, maybe it is too much of a weed album. There's a lot of weed references. Though I you know, I don't want to encourage people to just do weed. Like, hey, everyone smoke. But just, yeah, smoke. If there's the common themes that I've realized when you kind of batch record everything, is like a lot of being pissed at a lot of what kind of has become generic. Like, okay, kind of just like I'm mad that there was a generation of drug dealers that fucking made a lot of money and all of it went to nothing. And that theme shows up a bunch. Feeling like insecure that now I'm old enough to be the old head and I ain't got nothing to tell these YNs. And smoking as a means of getting over the stress of life. Those are the common themes of the project that I can come up with. So that's what it is. I'll have it finished as soon as I can and out on Spotify as soon as I can with all the other stuff I got going on. Hopefully you guys like it, and then we'll keep going. We'll keep going to the next project, whether it's synthwave, whether it's hip hop. That's kind of yet to be decided. Yeah, you listen here, Young Blood. I don't know what to tell you, Young Blood. You know what I mean? As y'all can see from it, you know, these streams. So yeah, we're gonna keep the music going, and just keep doing it. I got to start doing videos. Me not doing videos is an issue, so I got to get over that. I'm literally just scared of recording myself. That's literally what it is. It wouldn't take that long. It would take an hour of my time and then some, you know, maybe a couple hours of editing to get it done. Maybe a little longer with editing. But especially now that I don't even need a green screen. I was going to do some non-green, like green screen type videos. I could always cheat and use AI, but I don't want to if I don't have to. And I mean, it's improving every day, but I still don't like the look of AI. Once you can notice it, it's unnerving. But I don't know. I gotta figure something out, and I appreciate you guys being here. It's been real. It's been fun. Oh, I don't think I said bye to Fizz. He said bye a while ago. Peace out, Fizz. I hope everything's cool with you. Don't half-ass the videos. I shouldn't do them then. I'm not in no position to do a high-quality video. I would have to be relying on like an aesthetic. I have a tape-based like camcorder that has VHS is actually probably the right word. I have a VHS camcorder, so I'm hoping to use that aesthetic with like a cheap green screen for an effect. That's like kind of especially because, you know, I'm not done, even though I'm not as active with promoting the first project. It only came out 2 months ago, 3 months. Well, was it November, December? Does not have a crank, but no, not that old. But it's just it's a VHS. I have a VHS camcorder and I have a capture card to digitize it, so I can use that. You know, a lot of people are kind of going after that aesthetic anyway. I've got it for $60 or whatever off of Amazon. Then I have to buy a battery for it, and it works, and it works fine. So all I have to do is record it and digitize it. That's how I did the one. I did this remix to this guy. Oh, what is his name? He has like "I'm a Decent Man in the City of Demons." Kyle Bethel. That's the guy's name. And he's been on the radar or whatever. I just did like a remix. Now I have found there's a lot of industrial stuff, right? And you know, even Richard said, "Oh man, you need to be on the top of a building or do something like that." And you know, there's some. I know of plenty of parks. I know of plenty of parking garages. Lots of like different industrial or type stuff. And then there's other places in Houston that, you know, there's like houses you can go to record and people do videos from and stuff like that. You know what? I don't have the money for a videographer. And I'm like, especially right now. I do want to do my own stuff. Like at one point, man, I want to do like a short film and split it into videos for a project. Just like I want to do game. Like after this project, see, I could probably find enough locations to do something like that. I think I can find enough locations to do something like that. I still have the insecurity of just recording myself. And I also have, even though I don't really want to smoke with the Harris County Police Department, I'm going, because a lot of places I'm thinking of, I'm like, oh, that's private property. But like, there's one space, it was like right next to one of these truck depots, and the light was blinking. I'm like, oh, that would be perfect. And it's like right down the street. And so I can find places like that. Shout out to Houston's lack of zoning. Like the zoning here is bananas. like what I mean is like there'll be like a factory, and then you go down, there's like a gas station, and then there's like a shopping center, and then there's like a house, there's like another factory. It's like just all like within, walking distance. There's no like, hey, this is for industrial area only, and this is for, there are some parts like that, but there are also parts where it's just like right next to each other in a way that's kind of comical. So yeah. So there are places, I just got to do them, pause. But I've seen videos even, like I remember one of those Alchemist videos, they were just in a parking lot and just took a bunch of different shots. Half the shots were just from a parking lot or a park. But at one point, man, I want to do extra stuff. I want to do like a whole short film and cut that into videos and tell like a short little, like a 15-minute film. Before that, I want to do games. And even the next project, I'm thinking about calling it like Cyber Survivors or some shit and doing like a Vampire Survivor clone level and releasing that with the project. All right, Fireball, we're going to get out of here too. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate both of you guys being here. But yeah, that's the, at first I was going to do 2 hip-hop projects. Now I'm thinking just doing this one and then doing, like I said, taking another synth swing at the synth pop and maybe releasing just a Vampire Survivor clone with it, right? Even though that's probably a dated thing even of itself now, because it's not as popular as it was 2 or 3 years ago when it first launched, but still, that's something that's doable, and it's just something to add to the promotion. So promoting this music is going to be the hardest part. Only God knows how I'm going to do it, but we'll see. I got to keep releasing it too, and I'll check this video out for I guess we could, if it's short enough, maybe we'll end on it. Yeah, we'll end on it. So it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. We're going to end with Sniff, Conniva, and Hush 1 with One Night on Earth, the video. You know what? Now I mentioned, I still gotta listen to only do I gotta finish J. Cole. I gotta listen to Rock. Still haven't heard that. All right. Peace.
Where the fuck am I, bro? Yeah. Run the dice, game making trades under nightshade. When I speak, climate changes to an ice age. Son, it's out of your price range. Crime pays, I'm at Queensway playing high stakes. Hit the highway in the highest state. Drugs annihilated my estate. Sometimes I lie awake. I'm just trying to write a movie like Lionsgate. Left the block in dire straits. The broke up face with an iron plate. You try and keep it vague, that's a liar's trait. Sniffed up, sniffing lines off the vinyl case. Let's take it back to the spiral days. Coke bashed up with the lidocaine. Cops tried to violate, wires placed. Now a couple runners waiting on a trial date.
Yo, where I'm at, how'd I get here? I'm rolling up like I'll sober up next year. Yeah, Tommy Hilfiger headwear. Fuck you, I'm only spitting so my rent's clear. Like who are you? How'd I get here? I'm rolling up like I'll sober up next year. Yeah. Tommy Hilfiger headwear. Fuck you, I'm only spitting so my rent's clear. I'll be about, but you won't know it's me because I never have my mask off and don't approach. I don't like conversation. I seem standoffish in it for the art because you never made a damn profit. No, we'd hear about it if you ever made a band off it. Flat rocking Tommy in a glass coffin. Stack commas, man, gotta take it if you man want it. Sure, you can try. Boy, you could never, we showed up and you ran from it. Eyes gone, I keep shades on with a gold mite like Van Morris. Throwing fits cause you ain't getting the card that your dad promised. Silent guys with violent eyes, never heard about the grind off a gas chonga. Flicking off the grasshopper, stack wall, a glass bong. It ain't gonna last long. And slutty goths, a pussy popping 20s in your honey's phone. You love me not, she bunny hopping over to the honey pot. You funny dons are running off as soon as we are jumping on my money long. I'm fully gone. I woke up with my sunnies on like yo, where I'm at, how'd I get here? Rolling up like I'll sober up next year. Maybe, yeah. Tommy Hilfiger headwear. Fuck you, I'm only spitting so my rent's clear. Like who are you? How'd I get here? I'm rolling up like I'll sober up next year. Yeah. Tommy Hilfiger headwear. Fuck you, I'm only spitting till my rent's clear. Safe.